Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran and I'm here with River Brown, Velez, and Joe Dehls. And this is episode 369. In this episode, we're going to talk about Stefon Diggs getting traded, what it means for the Bills, how it affects the Houston Texans. We're going to overview AFC win totals, and then we're going to give our top 5 players with the most pressure in the NBA in these playoffs and do top 5 futures. How you guys feeling today?
I'm doing pretty great. Today was a big day for the Velez family. Got a new puppy.
Shout out.
We got this back.
Yeah, no, I'm assuming this means we're not recording in 4K anymore.
No, we're recording at 1080p because I don't feel like there's a big difference between 4K and 1080p.
I'll be honest, I saw myself up there and just didn't put two and two together.
Look at myself again. I'm back.
Yeah, this is always huge to have, honestly. You know, I realized I probably should be looking at that one. I always look at this one by habit.
I always look at the one on the right.
The one on the right? Yeah,
it's because the one on the left's got this. Like,
it has the lines. And
yeah,
stuff,
that is why I don't look at it. Although I'm looking at it myself right now, and damn, I look good. But we brought home another pit bull. Her name is Daisy. She has almost the same birthday as Penny. Penny is January 6th. Hers is going to be either the 17th or 18th. They don't know which one specifically, but they just know she's 11 weeks. So I think we're going to put the 18th because the 18 is such a great number in the family. But yeah, it's a great day. I'm excited. I'm finally a puppy father.
Where were you? Where'd you get the puppy from?
We got her in Fairlawn through Bark. That's the name of the adoption.
Oh, Bonnie's
Yes,
animal.
Bonnie.
Bro, that's
Yo,
what my,
I knew it. I knew it was you that I was there helping out because I said to her, I was like, I think I was here one time helping out with puppies. I think I was with Carrie Dehls.
I was saying my mom still. Oh, we haven't done it in a while, but we still do.
Sorry for outing your mom on the podcast.
That's fine. Shout out to my mom.
Love you, queen.
What's it called? Fostering dogs.
Yes.
Yeah, like every once in a while we'll bring a dog in when it's waiting to have a home, watch it for a couple months, it gets adopted. Yeah, but it's through Bark.
Yeah, facts. Do Bark, do Bonnie, an amazing woman.
So you are a good person.
He is.
I volunteered there like twice in my senior year of high school because they're like, you need to get shit for your college resume and all this. So I volunteered like twice.
Every day, Dehls.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah, I remember helping them out once, and I felt like was so familiar. I've been to that spot. Facts. I've been to that spot before, and it was a great experience. The first day we were there, we kind of weren't sure how it was going to go because they said you couldn't do same day take homes because they want to make sure that you're not a terrible individual. So we did that. We handed in our application. We did like this interview process. After that, I kind of walked down, just like, we got this. Handled it well. And
nice.
Now we took her home.
We'll get to talking about the dog in a little bit, but before that, we got to talk about PrizePicks.
Let's do it.
PrizePicks is the sponsor of today's episode. You can use code PAS for a 100% deposit match up to $100. It helps out the podcast, and the NFL season is near soon, and they have a lot of specials on passing yards, receiving yards, rushing yards. It's early. I think some of the plays are a little bit favorable. That's just my opinion. For sure. But that's why you got to go to PrizePicks and use code PAS.
And remember, play responsibly and be nice to the players. No one likes to those individuals that take it too seriously. Have some fun. All right? Be that guy.
Back to the topic on the dogs.
Let's do it.
I love dogs. And I think
you
being a puppy father
me.
is great.
Thanks, bro. I'm really looking forward to the challenge, the experience,
the responsibility.
Absolutely.
This is your dog?
This is my dog.
Tough.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So tonight, not sleeping in my room. Gonna sleep in the living room. Got to make sure that she gets
potty trained.
Correct. Got to lock that in because that is by far and away the toughest part. So hopefully we can get that handled relatively easily. But I know for the first week it's gonna be a little difficult. Let me not say hell, but difficult.
The barrier that is tough for me to jump over when it comes to taking care of dogs is just having to clean up their poop. That's the biggest one for me. It's I can feed it, I can play with it, it's whatever. But when it comes to me picking up poop, I just feel disgusting.
Shit is where you're just like, I can't do it.
I feel
puppies
disgusting.
do a lot
Even
of
through the
bad
bag?
shit though too, bro.
Even through the bag.
Puppies are gonna chew up like your furniture, your shoes. Like it's just part of it though. You just gotta train them.
Especially the bag, usually it's a clear bag.
Yeah.
And it's really a bag that, there's not much separation between the feeling and the bag. Mm-hmm. You still feel it.
You still, pick it up. You don't get anything on your hands. No. It's not ideal.
But I still got to wash my hands after.
You could get like a pooper scooper. You really want to get crazy.
I'll be honest, bro. You get really, really, really up and close and personal with your own ass. So I feel like that is a lot worse than in a bag, just picking up some shit and putting it in the garbage.
No, I know, but it's me. It's different. It's a dog. I'm
It's your
doing
dog,
it. Yeah,
though.
I know it's my dog.
When you have a kid though, it's gonna be fine.
of course,
Okay,
That
it's
shit
your kids.
dangerous.
of course.
Yeah.
That shit dangerous, man.
Because while you're cleaning, accidentally, whoa, there's part 2, and he's shitting all over you.
That shit smells ridiculous. Good luck, man. I'm trying to tell you, man.
I believe you.
Oh my.
That's the
God.
big thing I can't get over because it's just subconsciously it's always in my mind. You know, I take this dog out, I see it take a shit, and then I see he's on the couch with me watching TV, and his asshole where he just took a shit from is facing me, and I'm like, this guy was just outside.
You know what you got to do, bro? You get a little wipe. Get in there, man.
I have not done that yet.
That's how you keep them clean.
Do you do that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, I've never done that a day in my life, but if
Oh,
it
yeah.
really bothers you that much, you know what I mean? And I say you could have fooled
That's
me.
pretty nuts. I'm
Yeah.
fingering a dog.
Whoa! Jesus Christ!
That's how you described it.
Nobody said that. Nobody said
Jesus
that.
Christ!
Riv.
Ew.
He said.
That's what I said.
He said for a dog, get a
Say peace to that
wipey
PrizePicks
and then-
sponsorship. Here we go.
and then put the wipey around the dog's
Yeah, that looks a
butt.
little crazy.
It's not what I did. It's like wiping your own butt. You
That's what you
do
recommended
fucking
me to
finger
do.
your own ass when you fucking use a wipe on yourself? No.
Of course not.
I don't know.
I know.
At this point, I don't know.
There are times you got to get in there,
Yeah, you definitely gotta get in there.
and sometimes it's not enough with just the palm. Sometimes you got to get some fingers in there. It's different. You got to make sure that it's clean. Howard talk about dogs can turn for the worse.
Do you moan while you clean your own butt?
That's why you love to shit so much. Bro's in there having the time of his life.
That's insane.
I actually have the most anxiety when I shit.
Really?
No, I have anxiety when I shit.
What?
Because so many things can go wrong, man.
What are you talking about?
What? What can go wrong?
So many things can go wrong.
Yo, Elvis did die on the toilet. He did die in the toilet. So
What specifically can go wrong while you're shitting?
The worst thing that could go wrong.
No, but I'm saying that's like specific to shitting that's not happening elsewhere. Like just when you're on the
You
toilet.
scared like somebody to break in while you're shitting?
Oh no, I don't think anybody will break in. I feel like it's more in the control of oneself. But the reason why I say that is because sometimes in the bathroom, you feel like you cleaned yourself well, and you feel like you're all ready to go, and then sometimes you notice a couple minutes after, maybe I didn't. Maybe I gotta go back.
Now you do that often.
Maybe I gotta
You do
go
that
back,
often.
and maybe I gotta check.
do you be using the wet wipes? That's what I'm saying. Sometimes
some
you
wet
gotta
wipes.
use the wipies, and that really does the trick.
When you're in public restrooms, though, there's that.
no. When you're
That's
in
why I try
public,
to
Bro,
avoid.
I'm not shitting in
going to the
public
bathroom
unless I
publicly.
really have to.
Nothing I hate more is when we're out clubbing. I gotta shit mid club.
Yeah.
I feel like you go to the bathroom publicly a lot,
To shit?
just in general.
Yes. in
listen, bro,
general.
I won't leave you alone on that island. I'm right there with you. If I gotta go, I'm going.
Oh, I'm going.
I don't care where I am.
Nah,
Shit.
it's only if I really have to go. If not, bro, I'm not trying to do
Shitting
it
is like
public.
I'll get out of there and try to find the cleanest place I can find, maybe like a CVS or something like that. But man, when you like getting drunk, and then all of a sudden you got to shit, it's like
Now, getting the bubble guts drunk is
vibes are dead. I want to go
murdered
home.
for sure. Wow, what a way to start the podcast. Ah, fuck.
I actually have a story about needing to go to the bathroom badly.
Please.
I was in Arizona. I was me and Jessica for the first time, and we were going to visit her family. We was driving. This was a 2-hour drive to her sister's house. No, it was her grandfather's house, and I really needed to go to the bathroom. And we're 10 minutes away from her grandfather's crib, and I said, I really need to use the bathroom right now. Like, I'm gonna hurry up. Do you think I could use the bathroom in your grandfather's house? And she told me no, because it's my first impression. This is the first time I'm meeting them. So
Saying no to go to the bathroom. Okay, continue.
And yeah, I was kind of, I understood it.
tight.
I understood it. I was like, I really
But
don't
I
want,
also wouldn't want to do that my
Yeah.
first time meeting you. I just go and
it's the
destroy
first
your
impression.
bathroom real
I don't
quick.
want to be like, yo, I'm sorry, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Because I really could not hold it no more. Like, if I walked in the door, that's where I was going to first. So then I had to go to a CVS, and I went to a CVS, and I go to the bathroom. That shit is locked,
Oh my God.
and I have to drive a couple blocks over to another like gas station. It wasn't a name brand, and then I had to go to the bathroom, and I held it in for as long as I could, but that's where I had to do it.
Damn.
Like
The gas station was nasty.
But you didn't shit yourself.
No, I didn't.
Thank God.
No.
Thank God.
No name gas station look crazy. Damn.
It's Arizona, middle of nowhere.
Damn. That's brutal.
No, yeah, I've really tried to avoid going to the bathroom publicly.
Me too.
No, for
Especially
sure.
if I have to use the toilet, like really.
Oh, listen, I
definitely have to.
I try to avoid it, but sometimes you can't. And I'm going. I don't give a shit. No pun intended.
When do you notice that you have to, and how long can you tolerate not going?
You know what, bro? I actually recently learned this because I've been making the deadly mistake of, I have a stomach ache. Oh, maybe these farts will actually relieve my stomach ache. No, that's actually what worsens it. So that first hit of, I have to fart really badly, you have to fight your tooth and nail to keep it in your body because that's what really starts the chain reaction. So that's really when I realized, all right, it's time to breathe, time to relax, put the music on, and just get to a location. But I used to be bad. Oh, man.
We'll leave it at that.
Nah, when I start like cramping up or walking funny, I know like it's time. Like I start limping and shit.
Oh, my
ass
stomach starts
hurting.
singing.
Start limping.
Yeah, cause like when I got a shit like and I can hold it for a good long time. But when I can't hold no more, I'll start to like walk with like a little limp. Like I got a shit like it's about to come out.
to hurt
You really
you.
be clenched.
Yeah, you got to start like
Starts to
arching
hurt
your
you.
body a certain way so it won't come out, and it's real bad. I try not to hold it.
It sucks the most when in any sudden movement,
Yeah.
something else could be moving down.
It's worse when you in a group of people and you sitting there, and there's nowhere to go, and you got a shit, so you just looking at everybody, you not saying nothing, you ain't saying nothing for like 20 minutes, and then they be like, yo, you got a shit, and you just like,
Yes. Yes, I do.
You ever threw a silent fart and thought nobody would smell it, but somebody ended up smelling it? I haven't. I'm just asking you guys.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did that shit in class one time. I was I had a psychology class at Bergen. And I'm a back seat guy. I sit in the back all the time. So I was sitting next to this girl, and I looked at like, you know how when you about to fart, you check your surroundings. So I'm checking around, everybody focus. So I just it's like
You're
I was like,
crazy.
oh shit. So I tried to look straight. Like there
was nowhere else to look though. It was just
and then
you
she
over there.
looked at me, and I'm just like, but I could feel her like staring at me. And then the person to the right started. I'm just like, I smell that. I tried to act like the girl farted. That's like, I smell that. It stink. And I looked at her like, you farted?
Yo, you're crazy.
And then she got mad, like, no, bitch, you farted. And I'm just like, kept it pushing. I'm like, yeah. After that, I left the class. I had the shit though, bad.
I bet you did.
Bad. That was
I
one
bet
of-
you did.
That was one of them ones.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I never trust myself that it's gonna be quiet. Never.
No, neither do I.
I had those. I had
Even
to
when
get
I
up
think
for
it's
that,
quiet,
too.
it's not quiet.
Yeah. That was one of them farts I had to get up for. I had to do the little.
You ever have it that you hold in a fart and you hold it in so much that your stomach gargles? Does that ever happen to you? That is the worst because you held in that fart so it wasn't hot boy, but then your stomach still popped you regardless.
Yeah.
That shit hurts. It's a betrayal of your own body.
So if you guys were 13 minutes in and realized what type of podcast this was going to be, don't worry, it's still a sports podcast.
Still a sports podcast.
And the Buffalo Bills traded Stefon Diggs. The biggest news of the day, Stefon Diggs, still a great receiver.
Could argue this is the biggest news of the offseason. Low key. You
It's-
really could
it's
argue
one
that.
of. The simple question we're going to be answering is, why did the Bills trade Stefon Diggs? And the second question to that is, how much worse are they now? Or are they better? Because, you never know the Patrick Ewing effect. Sometimes you remove somebody, the team becomes better. Or how much better?
Patrick Ewing effect.
Oh, you didn't know that phrase? No. 1999 finals, we made the finals run without Patrick Ewing.
Oh, he didn't play?
No, he didn't
I knew
play.
y'all made it. I thought he played. Wow.
Yeah, that was the same.
That was with Latrell Sprewell and all of them.
Yeah, Allen Houston.
Damn, my dad thought he played. That's hilarious. Wow. Okay. Well,
So you can start. This is your team. This is the
for
Bills.
sure. Bills Nation, Bills Mafia. Definitely my dogs, nonetheless.
You lost a troop, man.
He gained a troop. So it made me upset.
Wow. I know. There was no lose-lose
I was
here
sick.
for this guy.
I was sick.
Listen, I'm a CJ Stroud fan. Love to see the Texans succeed, but I would say I'm a definite Bills fan. Those are my heart and souls for sure. It's my second team. I definitely was surprised. I know Stefon Diggs has had issues with this team in just terms of the media. He's been a little bit of a diva. His brother has chimed in too. So especially like last year, like just specifically talking about last year. Last year was a bit of a roller coaster. You saw the Bills come out, lost a couple games they shouldn't have lost to the Patriots, to Denver. You saw his brother call out Josh Allen. You saw people started to put them against each other, talking about Josh wouldn't be who he was without Stefon Diggs. And then, of course, the OC gets fired, forgot his name, Brady comes in, right? And then you see a change and a shift. You start seeing them implement the run game more, implement Josh Allen in the run game more. You start to see, Shakir wake up, Kincaid wake up. But then you start to see Diggs kind of simmer away from the pack, kind of not be as involved. And then when he is involved, making a couple key drops, specifically the one that comes to mind is the one in the Chiefs game. Big play, had an opportunity to really change the game, take the lead. Josh throws a 60-yard bomb, just goes right through Diggs' hands. He just couldn't make the grab. And just to talk about the end of that year, they went on a 6-0 run, 5-0 run, what it was. Walking to the playoffs, they clutched up. Yeah. But unfortunately, Diggs wasn't one of the main components of that. He definitely is still a factor when he's on the field, but he wasn't a big problem. He wasn't a big component of that. I believe Shakir was probably their best receiver towards the late stretch. Yeah, so. And then in the offseason, you see this team, unfortunately, they lose to the Chiefs. You come in, the drama is still kind of there. I kind of understand why the Bills went in this direction. I believe they save about $19 million in money, and I do think they took the fact that they took the dead cap for Stefon Diggs is a huge thing. They want to, they want to change their culture. They want to bring in guys that want to be in Buffalo. They want to get younger. Diggs is getting a little bit old on the older side. He's still a great receiver, like you mentioned, but he is getting up there in age. You have to start to build a different roster around Josh Allen, and I do think the Bills made a deal that they needed to make at this time, because I feel like that the time was right. The organization didn't see the same things that Diggs seen, so unfortunately it had to happen. I think, of course, the Texans got better, but I think off face value, the Bills did get a little worse. You lose a top-end receiver in the league. You lose a guy that, that requires double coverage, requires your top corners. So off face value, you losing him, it hurts. Your receiving core is now Samuel, Shakir, Kincaid, Knox, and you're probably going to draft somebody. But I think in the end, down the road, this could look a little better because you probably weren't going to pay him that money next year. He probably wasn't going to stay anyways. And on top of that, you need to get younger. You need to get more speed on the outside. You need to just get a better team around Josh. So I think inevitably this probably looks bad for the Bills at the moment, but I think they can definitely bounce back from this.
So let me ask, because the way that his contract is set up, he would become an unrestricted free agent at the age of 35 and 28, but there was a potential out after 25, correct?
There's a potential out because Stefon Diggs is on a 3-year, $75 million deal. Mm-hmm. After 2024, only $3 million is guaranteed.
Yep.
So for the Texans, there's no risk involved with this. Mm-hmm. The Bills are eating $31 million in dead cap. The most for a receiver in NFL history. But next year in 2025, they'll have cap to play with.
31, if I'm not mistaken?
I'm not sure the exact number, but I know that next year is where the flexibility for them money-wise comes.
So if you're a Bills fan, you shouldn't be overreacting or honestly underreacting. I say that for the idea that Stefon Diggs came in, and whether you like his exit or don't like his exit, what he did for your team is something that I don't know if any other receiver could have gone in and done. And I say that with the idea that Josh Allen, his rise to being, right now as we consider him, a top 2 quarterback in the league, took time. With the way that we talk about, is a quarterback going to develop like a Josh Allen, where we understand that that's unrealistic, and I feel like people hold on to quarterbacks for so long, and I feel like one of the biggest names to blame for that is Josh Allen. Because in year 3, he finally broke out, and we started having him in MVP conversations, made it to the AFC Championship game. But what was that paired with? The arrival of Stefon Diggs. We saw Josh Allen take his game to the next level, being in the top 3 at the absolute floor. and that was partnered with Stefon Diggs. Now, this past season, we saw Josh Allen really shoulder primarily a majority of the offensive load, whether it was, of course, passing or rushing the football. Did the same thing last year, except you look at Stefon, and Stefon Diggs was amazing 2 seasons ago. But this past season, like my friend Riv mentioned, the stretch where they went on their heater to end the season, where they secured the top spot of the AFC West, the AFC East, he wasn't really one of the main guys. We saw James Cook be more of a significant part of that offense than a Stefon Diggs. And I understand Stefon Diggs still attracts an insane amount of attention. So naturally the gravity goes to him and your other guys can get open in their spots. But he wasn't one of the main guys, and that was a problem for him. If I'm building a team, it's always we. It's never me. And unfortunately for Stefon Diggs, who I've been on record constantly supporting and thinking that, hey, I think that it's noise, not thinking anything of it. I respect his confidence. I respect his drive to win. It's gotten to the point where even I have to say it's too much me and not enough we. We saw it in Minnesota. We're seeing it again in Buffalo. And I think Buffalo just wanted to go ahead and move on from that because it was becoming too much of a distraction on the outside looking in. Because there's no reason why a member of another team, while he's not playing football, who has obvious impact, Trayvon Diggs, we understand he's one of the more respected corners in the game. We understand that if he speaks, we know who he's talking about. He's talking about his brother. He's talking about Josh Allen, one of the faces of this league. And you just don't need that outside drama. You want to keep the main thing the main thing. And unfortunately, it didn't seem like Diggs could do that in Buffalo. It's unfortunate because this was a dangerous pairing. This is one of the best duos that we've seen in some time. Stefon Diggs obviously deserves all the acknowledgement and the respect of a top 10 wide receiver in this league. But it gets to a point where you kind of lose respect when it's too much me and not enough we. And that's where Diggs has unfortunately fallen.
I think the diva part is only a smaller portion of this deal. You know, you saw that tweet, was it last night or 2 nights ago, where the guy basically tweets out, Josh Allen without Stefon Diggs would still turn into this great of a player. And Stefon Diggs replies to that tweet on his Twitter, not no burner. He's saying, "Are you sure about that?" ? And I think the next day he ends up getting traded. That was kind of a red flag because he had said things in the past that are a little bit questionable. Remember last season, he didn't show up the first day of practice and they didn't really hear anything about it. And then Sean McDermott had to make a statement after and said like, "Oh, we know who he is." But the whole situation was kind of weird. But I think the bigger issue was that down the stretch, like Drew mentioned, he just wasn't involved enough in the offense. And that's what's causing these issues. And you have 2 options, right? The first option is what they did, and it's to keep the same offense coordinator. You keep Joe Brady, because down the stretch, like you said, they were winning games, but they weren't really winning games the same way they were when they had Ken Dorsey. When they were with Ken Dorsey, they were more pass happy. They were taking more shots down the field. The running back percentage or the amount of targets running backs were getting through or went up to like 22% under Joe Brady, and it was, in the teens when they had Dorsey there. So this is the option they went with. We're like, we're going to keep Joe Brady, and at this point, it doesn't feel like Joe Brady with Stefon Diggs was really able to work. And you move off Stefon Diggs, and Riv mentioned some of the money. Diggs would have been $27 million on the Bills cap if they just had him on the roster. To trade him, they had to eat an additional $4 million. So now they're spending over $31 million in dead cap money just to trade him. This isn't saving their money in any way. This isn't to make a move down the line because you're going to have to eat all of this money. It's not going to do anything for your salary cap. So I am a bit cautious on this decision because I get it. Stefon Diggs has had his moments throughout his tenure on the Buffalo Bills. But if I have Josh Allen, I'm trying to maximize my ability to win.
Fair enough.
I'm trying to do everything I can to put the best roster out there. And again, he's made a few comments about Josh, or questionable comments about the Bills more specifically in general. But I always felt like him and Josh, generally speaking, had a fine relationship. Like, did they have their moments on their sideline? Sure, but I think you see that from a lot of great players all the time. We've seen it with Brady. We've seen it with Mahomes. So I don't really see that as too big of an issue because now we look at this Bills roster. Your wide receiver 1, they signed Curtis Samuel. I think that's a solid signing, but he's probably a wide receiver 3, 2 at absolute best. Khalil Shakir had some moments. Of course, you drafted Kincaid, and James Cook was used a lot in the passing game. But now at pick 28, 29, you need a guy. You lost Gabe Davis, of course, too, kind of your big body, deep threat receiver. 29 is basically locked in to draft a receiver, but I don't think one's enough. I think you need to sign or at least draft another one on top of that because you really don't have much depth right now. You're looking at one of the worst receiving cores in the league, and to have Josh Allen and to kind of just throw out, with all due respect to those guys, Curtis Samuel and Khalil Shakir as your wide receiver 1 and 2, when you've seen with Stefon Diggs, you could have one of the most electric offenses. I just don't think this is a Tyreek Hill Chiefs situation where the Chiefs go and trade Tyreek Hill and they still go to the Super Bowl and win it the next season because they had Andy Reid. I don't think Joe Brady and of course Sean McDermott being a defensive-minded head coach, that doesn't feel like the same thing. Maybe they're saying we have Josh, he's damn near just as good as Mahomes, he's 80-95% of Mahomes, whatever they think, but that extra 5% and having one of the best offensive minds of all time, that's what's able to help you overcome losing Tyreek Hill. Of course, having Travis Kelce helps too, but they really just don't have a reliable guy now on that offense.
This comes down to three things. Stefon Diggs was underperforming, he was expensive, and he was a problem. Not only was he a problem to the coaching staff, but he was a problem to the best player on the team, Josh Allen. I don't think the relationship was fine.
You think it was a negative, it was an unhealthy relationship?
I know Josh didn't even know about the deal until after.
I saw that too, but Bean did say that there was a chance he get dealt in the offseason, like when the season ended.
I feel as if where there's smoke and there's fire. There was too many subtle shots thrown at Josh Allen's way, not only from Stefon Diggs, but from people who are close to him to just believe that this was nothing. Maybe he had a problem with an offensive coordinator or not Josh Allen specifically, but him replying to a bunch of posts whenever Josh Allen gets brought up and Stefon kind of trying to take a bulk of the credit for the improvement, that's where I think there's a problem there. That Stefon Diggs really doesn't believe that Josh Allen would have became this quarterback without him. And who knows? We don't know. That's a hypothetical. Stefon Diggs underperformed last year after Week 10. After Week 10, the last 7 regular season games, 315 yards, 1 touchdown. Josh Allen in that stretch, 1,900 yards, 18 total touchdowns. The Bills went 6-1. Only loss was to the Eagles. The Bills were able to go on the best stretch of the season without Stefon Diggs being Stefon Diggs. I think this move is going to dictate either another beginning to the Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott era, or it's going to be the end of it. You don't deal a guy as good as Stefon Diggs with no repercussions. This offense, I do think with Josh Allen could still be one of the better offenses in the league, but there's no doubt that in this draft, Brandon Beane is eyeing wide receiver. And if he doesn't get the pick right, now you're putting Josh Allen in a lot of trouble and you're asking him to take on and shoulder more of a burden than he's already been shouldering trying to carry this offense. But I do think that this now alleviates them from a obvious negative character in the locker room. Stefon Diggs was about me, like you mentioned. He wasn't about the team. Enough about the team. And then you mentioned it as well, Riv, when you talked about the playoff game. Stefon Diggs underperformed in the playoffs. He had a 55-yard catch that he could have made. It went right through his hands.
Josh gave him a fucking dime.
Josh Allen showed up for those moments, and part of the reason why I'm comfortable and I'm confident in the Bills' offense is, one, because they have Josh Allen. Mm-hmm. Number 2, Curtis Samuel's not a number 1 wide receiver to me, but for years now, I think he's been one of the more underrated ones.
He's a good receiver.
And in an actual good situation, I think he can thrive. He had 600 yards in Washington last year. The offense was a mess. The quarterback play wasn't there. Who's to say that with Josh Allen that can't go up 200 yards, or maybe he has his first 1,000-yard receiving season? Khalil Shakir has 600 yards receiving. And then Dalton Kincaid. They drafted him in the first round for a reason, because they think he could be one of the best tight ends in the league. So if those things go right for Buffalo and they draft a receiver that ends up being productive for them, I think we're going to overlook this Stefon Diggs move. But if they come out and they're porous on offense, we're going to look at the Stefon Diggs trade and say Brandon Beane made a gigantic mistake.
I feel like another part of that is if the Texans offense comes out and we're talking about them as the number 1 offense in football, now it's going to be even more so, the Bills made a mistake. But I feel like that's an unfair thing to say, understanding that there's some strong weapons over there in Houston. Understanding that they do have one of the premier young quarterbacks in the National Football League, too, in C.J. Stroud. We all understand that. That offense now has Stefon Diggs, Nico Collins, Dalton Schultz. Tank Dell, God willing that he's 100% ready to go. And they forget that Joe Mixon also was brought to the squad this offseason as well. There was a lot of firepower on this offense. I'm fully anticipating that the Houston Texans offense is going to be great. But again, their greatness can also make fans go and say, why the hell did we trade Stefon Diggs? But understanding that the bigger picture is we would rather a locker room that's 100% sound in what we're doing and trying to move forward with a mindset of we, not me. And again, Stefon was completely against that. It seems.
That's what it was during their 6-1 stretch. You know, it was about sharing the sugar, you know, being more as a team.
Sharing the sugar, I like that.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
I love me some sugar. It was even guys on the defensive end, you know, guys that don't have the big names, you know, just making plays and being a team together. And I think that's what they kind of implemented when Joe Brady got there, just more team foundation, more being together, more we and not me.
Yep.
You know, same thing with Sean McDermott. I know Josh and Sean have never, from my knowledge, thrown any shots. They've always they put the blame on themselves. Like I mentioned with Diggs, it's a lot of me stuff. Sometimes he does throw these little shots. When Diggs speaks, you know when Trayvon, speaks, you know it's because Stefon and him have had conversations. It's obvious. Y'all brothers. We all have brothers in here, except Dehls.
Don't have a brother now.
Sorry, Dehls. Can't be a part of that. But I'm your brother.
Appreciate that.
But I do think the Bills will be fine. You know, I think offensively it's not going to be like a top 3, top 5 offense in the world. You know, it's not going to be that. But I think it'll be more methodical, more spread out. You know, but you got to look at the division. You know, the Jets got some new pieces. You know, the Dolphins are still hanging around. You still got the Chiefs. Houston got better. It is going to losing Diggs is going to make it a little harder to make the playoffs for sure. And you in the fourth quarter, you know, you are going to need those guys to make those type of plays. But you're still young. You know, you still have Josh Allen. If you still have him, you can make some moves.
It does feel like a new era in Buffalo now. You lose multiple dudes on defense. You lose Porter. You lose Trey White. On offense, you lose Stefon Diggs. It does feel like a missed opportunity, though, if you're looking back on Buffalo. Von Miller, with all due respect, he's probably not going to play much next season. I mean, he's really not good enough at this point of his career. Just injuries have caught up to him. Age has caught up to him.
First ballot Hall of Famer, man.
First ballot, undoubtedly one of the best edge rushers, you know, of like this kind of generation in his prime.
You could just say all time, man.
Of all time, sure. But it does feel like a missed opportunity for Buffalo because, I mean, they felt like year in and year out that they should be at least in a Super Bowl. That Josh Allen, we're calling him a top 3 quarterback for the last 2-3 seasons now. And we recognize that Josh Allen is great. We recognize that Stefon Diggs one of the top wide receivers in the NFL. And you just really go back to that Chiefs game when there's 13 seconds left, and it feels like this was probably their best opportunity at that time to kind of take that next step. Of course, Josh Allen's still young, but you're paying him now, and you see kind of the ramifications of paying Josh Allen this amount of money. You know, you're going to have to move on some of your guys. And I think you guys are painting a good picture in terms of sharing the wealth because they were winning, but we go through it almost every year. You look at the top teams in the NFL, quarterbacks have to be great, of course, but almost all of them have at least one, if not two, reliable top-tier weapons.
I agree with that, but that's when you're not Josh Allen. When you're Josh Allen, you can make up for a lot of deficiencies on an offense. I think this offense will still be top 10 next year.
But we've always talked about the Buffalo Bills needing another wide receiver opposite side of Diggs, and they just lost the guy that we've given them a lot of credit for. How can we
Diggs
not keep that same energy? Fact.
Because I feel like the identity is changing for the team. I think they're running the ball more.
The only team to really win without an ex-wide receiver over however many years, the Chiefs this year. And Rashid took a strong leap towards the second half of last season. Last year, correct. Yeah. Well, Travis Kelce was amazing.
Well, Kelce's been great these last 2 years, but I'm saying at the receiver position.
I understand what you're saying, but it also
that's
helps
a weapon.
when you have
That's a weapon.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like, you know, Travis Kelce, you put up against any.
But that's why if the outliers like Patrick Mahomes, Brady's done it with, you know, not top tier weapons in the past too. But that's the tier of guys. And
I know the outlier
is just as talented.
Is Mahomes, but Josh Allen, he's just one of those quarterbacks that you feel very comfortable with, that you can put just enough.
I agree,
but they'll be fine.
But that doesn't mean you shouldn't try to make it easier for him. At the end of this offseason, right? We still have the draft. Say they take a receiver. I mean, you can't tell me that you feel more confident about them winning the East than being a wild card team than you did at the beginning of the offseason.
You think keeping Diggs would have made that easier based off the way the season ended last year?
I think you could win and Stefon Diggs could play well. They've showed that for multiple seasons.
But clearly the Bills are saying that we'd rather eat $31 million than keep this guy.
I mean, they made it a pretty, and it was a 2025 second as well. Houston has picks in this upcoming draft. There was a 2025 second. I'm not just like taking that and just throwing it away. I would just hope, like if I was Josh Allen, if I was a Bills fan, I want to keep as much talent around him as possible. Even though he can make up for it, I get it. And maybe the receiver you draft at 29 ends up being a stud because he has Josh Allen. But imagine you have Stefon Diggs. Now you draft a receiver at 29 who is a stud. Now this looks like, okay, we got a real chance to make a push again.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's tricky because you want to keep the talent, but you also want to get rid of the headaches, And unfortunately, this was a marriage that was probably going to end. But like it's just hard to defend it because they were winning without Diggs, like not without
him.
They were winning with, but they've also won with him.
But
in that specific stretch, yes, new OC is
new
OC.
And they were, and last year before that OC, they were struggling.
But you're tying yourself to Joe Brady. Listen, Joe Brady for that stretch, they were fine. It was worse, like numbers wise, than it was with Ken Dorsey.
For sure.
And his 2 years with Carolina, to be fair, didn't really have a bunch of quarterback or decent quarterbacks, but it wasn't like anything special there.
I think they only care about the result is the win.
That's fair. I mean, if you're Buffalo, that's how it should be.
I'm looking at the offseason losses by them. Stefon Diggs, Tre'Davious White, Gabe Davis, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Leonard Floyd, Mitch Morse, Tyrell Dodson. How many of these really matter?
I mean, it's a lot of starters they're missing.
Both safeties. That's tough.
Micah
Trey White's
Hyde,
been years,
I think, is going to retire. I think because he has a problem with his neck.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's been a lingering thing. Mm-hmm.
So he might retire. But so they might have just lost him. Anyway.
I mean, if we're looking at this past season, I think a lot of these guys, you can make the argument they didn't contribute as much in previous years.
Trey White has been hurt the last 2 seasons.
Correct. Yep.
Mitch Morse he's average. He was the worst offensive lineman in that group. I think they've developed that offensive line pretty well. Huh?
I don't think that's the end of the world losing Mitch Morse.
No,
the offensive line was really great.
Well, yeah, this is
Leonard
probably Josh's
Floyd,
best offensive line.
Rotational pass rusher. He's going to be
solid.
missed, but you can replicate
plays.
that.
Yeah.
Tyrell Dodson, as long as you have Matt Milano healthy, you're good there. They still have a lot of talent. I think the secondary got younger with Rasul, Benford, and Teron Johnson. Teron's an all-pro.
I think the corners are fine.
His position, this is still a really good team.
Yeah.
The defense is still going to be really good. It's just about trying to get Josh Allen a receiver in the draft.
Which they will.
And I feel as if, because even when they had Stefon Diggs, before Dalton Kincaid, there really wasn't a consistent separator on the Bills. Mm-hmm. Gabe Davis is not a separator. He's just a deep threat.
They got Cole Beasley. He was kind of decent.
Yeah, for like a year, though, then he fell off. But now it's like Samuel can separate. Shakir can separate. Kincaid can separate. Sure. They have guys who can win one-on-one matchups. And
James Cook.
They aren't so reliant on Stefon just being the guy to always win. Mm. There's a lot of good players in this offense, and that's why I think they can surprise some people. I really like Curtis Samuel. Like my image of him is much higher than probably a lot of people's perception is. I like Curtis Samuel.
He's locked in.
I like Curtis Samuel.
1,000 yards?
I really do like Curtis Samuel. He can get to it. All I'm going to say is that I think he can get to it.
Let me ask, do they go the bigger type wide receiver in this with the, what I believe, pick 20, is it 27?
I would go Ladd McConkey.
Okay, Keon Coleman just for the size.
Keon Coleman is
I feel
Gabe
like
Davis.
I've seen a lot of mocks of Keon to the Bills.
We took him an hour mock.
Correct. That's
Keon Coleman is just a lot of red flags. He's the prototypical. He's the prototypical jump ball contested catch receiver.
Correct.
I don't know if I like that. Mm-hmm. The players I'm looking for, Adonai Mitchell, I think would be awesome.
If he's there, that would be a really good pick.
I'm a big Xavier guy.
Trading up maybe to go get Ryan Thomas.
No, Leggett.
Troy Franklin could possibly be there.
Okay.
Ladd McConkey. Mm-hmm. I like Ladd McConkey a lot.
Would Ladd run a 4.39?
4.39, I don't think so. Let me check. You might not be wrong because I know he's really fast.
I mean, they're going to have options at whatever.
I remember his 40 time really shocking me.
It was 4.39.
I thought so.
Oh, yeah.
I saw Xavier's mix. I was moved.
4.39 is insane. Anything under 4.4 is crazy.
I can run a 4.4.
No, you can't.
The reason I'm high on Curtis Samuel is because in 2020, when he was actually his OC was Joe Brady, he had 851 yards receiving with 3 touchdowns.
Oh, yeah, that was the year DJ Moore was third on the team in receptions.
But he had 200 yards rushing because they were using him kind of like Debo Samuel.
It's Curtis Samuel, and do you know who the other leading receiver was on that team? This is receptions. Robbie chose.
I saw that tweet.
Listen, bro, I don't want to brush you off. Just if you ran a 4.4,
I can run a 4.4.
You shouldn't be here.
Riv, I don't know
Grades.
if you run a 4.4.
Forget about that, bro. You can just go and try out for a team.
I can run a 4.4.
If you ran like a 4.8, I'd be impressed.
I can run it. I can run a 4.8.
Nah,
I think you're
I can run a
underestimating
4.8.
it.
Huh? I might be,
you're
but I can.
under-
Drew,
No,
tell him I can run a
I got
4.8.
disrespectful.
I'll be
Yeah.
4.8's nuts. We both can run 4.8s.
Oh, I'm way faster than Drew.
Okay, way faster. I don't know. He's probably faster than me though. But
What you
4.8,
give me,
I can run.
4.6?
There's a chance.
We'll do it one day.
4.6 is pretty damn fast.
That's
No,
Patreon
it's-
content.
Like
40
you
yard
have
dash between y'all
NFL
two.
wide
Yes.
receivers out there running 4.6s. Like Cooper Kupp was like a 4.6.
I'm faster
Tay
than
was
Cooper
like a
Kupp.
4.58.
I wouldn't be a 4.8.
Put it
I
like
don't-
this: I'm faster than Mike Evans.
Are you faster than Patrick Mahomes?
Yes,
Tay was a 4.56.
we'll run it one day.
A 4.8.
Nice weather.
I don't know. I think you're underestimating how fast NFL
Maybe a
dudes
4.4
are,
was
bro.
crazy.
No, I think
But I
you're
definitely
Nah,
can do faster than
4.4,
4.8. That was
Okay.
disrespectful.
But then after
Like
Curtis
NFL
What would you
Samuel,
put your line? 4.7? 4.65?
4.65.
Like NFL linemen, like old linemen, D linemen can run like a 5 flat 4.9.
Yeah.
Like I think we're faster than them. Bro.
Yeah, I mean,
they're really athletic though.
Yeah, no, that we're not taking
And,
anything away
and
from
their
their
strides are
athleticism.
probably larger too.
I think the only thing that
Well,
hurt
the
me
thing
was
is with
the
football
start.
players, they're actually around mine and Riv's height, and like the wide receivers are probably
not
like
probably
the super
Mike Evans.
tall ones.
The offensive linemen though, they do
They're
be
like
kind of tall.
6'7".
Them offensive
But they're
linemen
running
are
like 4.
6'8".
I mean, if a great time is like you break 5 seconds, if you're like fucking 6'8",
yeah,
320, you run like a 5'1", bro. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah,
you're
that's
like,
what
a
I'm
big
saying.
dude.
And they're also like 300 pounds.
We gonna lock in, man.
But Curtis Samuel, after he had that career year, he signed with Washington. He was hurt. He only played 5 games that year. And then these last 2 seasons, he's been at 600 yards receiving. I really feel like if he went to a different situation, he would be more of a household name. But 850 his career season, now is being the first, second, whatever option on the Bills. I think he'll be very productive if he stays healthy. That's the most important thing.
I don't disagree too much.
So, Riv,
Let's do it. You wanna?
what?
What do you got to say?
I was going to ask you how you feel about the Texans, but do we have something else?
We have a little fun game before
do
we
it.
talk about the Texans because they did just make a splash move. You know, we have a couple teams that picked up some prime guys, but blindly rank these NFL offenses based on talent. So don't include the quarterback. So just wide receiver
Just
1,
talent.
wide
Okay.
receiver 1, 2, possibly a 3, running back, tight end.
No O-line.
No O-line.
Okay.
Don't feel like doing that. First team up, I'm going to throw you a wild one. Let's go Dolphins with Hill, Waddle, A-Chain. I hope I say his name right, and Mostert.
Okay, I'm nuts to say 1. Am I nuts to say 1?
They're they're top 2. They're one of the best skill position
So
groups.
I feel like
it's
what he
early.
threw-
Let's
yeah,
just
but
do
who-
2.
I think that
It's
I
early.
like
Give us a chance for 1.
Don't forget about John Smith.
Jonathan Smith's
Yes,
a solid
correct.
pick.
That was a great
They re-signed
addition.
Raheem as well.
I was thrilled with that.
We
And
could put him on,
Devon, I'm fine with 1, but
I'll put
it's
him- I'm
number.
cool with 2.
It's literally
I'm cool with 2.
correct. Let's see.
Next team up, the Vikings.
That's what I was
Jettas,
waiting for.
Addison, TJ, Aaron Jones.
I think
That's-
that's 1.
One?
If it's
I would have
if
1.
they're healthy.
I would have them one
If they're healthy, that's 1.
That's better than the
Jefferson
Dolphins.
and Tyreek Hill cancel out.
Waddle is better than Addison.
Yeah, but I think Addison.
But then the weapons after that.
Hawkinson and
Aaron Jones.
But Raheem
H-Chan's a
Mostert did
dog,
just
too, yeah.
tied for most touchdowns, and
A-Chain
H-N
averaged 7.8 yards a carry.
You know, he was historic.
and
I know.
H-N
So it's
also
just
is a
the
dog.
amount of carries.
No, because
Got
at this
hurt.
point, A-Chain
He's a dog.
could be
I'm
better
not
than
gonna
Aaron
say
Jones.
Really, Minnesota's the first one that comes to mind,
What do you mean?
as in number 1 weapons room.
They might.
Yeah, I mean, they'd
because
be
I think
top
Jordan
2, 3 to
Addison,
me.
he might not be Jalen Waddle, but he's still.
No,
I'm
he's
not
a
gonna lie, bro. He
receiver.
could definitely be better than Jalen Waddle.
Well, definitely, I'm not
He
going to
could
go
be.
that far.
He could be.
He has.
So you sure you want this to be 1?
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking
There's another
3.
team. There's a few other teams.
Well, you're defeating the purpose of blindly ranking.
I didn't tell you the teams.
And I'm saying my immediate was 3. If you
I'm
guys
just
want to
thinking,
go
who are
1,
we
it's
waiting on?
majority.
Standing on 1?
Niners,
Are you
maybe?
standing on
Are
1?
you-
Okay,
guys-
I'm cool with 3. I'm cool with 3.
I don't want to sway too
Well,
much.
it's 2-1, so
I'm
it's
cool
3.
with 3.
It's
All right.
3.
Next team up, the San Francisco Niners. Brandon Ayuk, Debo.
Oh, that's number 1.
Christian
This is number
McCaffrey.
1.
Okay, I'm
This
glad
is
we didn't
number 1.
overreact.
Yes. This is number
Next
1.
team up, the Philadelphia Eagles. AJ Brown, Smitty, Dallas, and now Saquon Barkley.
See, I think Minnesota was a little too high with respect.
The Eagles are better than the Dolphins' offensive weapon group.
Oh, that's okay. I'm not upset. Not upset at that.
It's close. I think the Eagles. I
H-N
think the,
and Raheem are a lot better than I think people give credit for because
Saquon, though.
they hear Saquon
You
exactly.
only have
That's
4
why.
or 5 left.
I think the Eagles would be over the who we just say the Vikings for
Vikings.
me. The Dolphins are close, but we had to put them at 4. I don't know if we're gonna get 5.
Yeah, we have to put them at 4. The Eagles
Yeah.
have to be at 4 now
Yeah.
because we already did the other
that
ones.
up. Damn.
And then the final team left, the Texans with Diggs, Nico, Tank, Joe, Mixon.
I'm fine with 5.
I'm cool with 5.
That's 5. Riv gave us the hardest ranking ever. There were no trashed offenses.
They're all elite. Like,
Respected that. Well done.
Or mediocre ones.
So your flat list was you had the Niners at 1, Dolphins at 2, Vikings at 3, Eagles at 4, Texans at 5. There is room to improve now that you figured out who's who.
I feel like now that we know the teams.
That's why I told y'all to think. You should have thought about the Eagles. The Niners should have
I was
brought
expecting
a
a trash team. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I wasn't giving you.
I thought at
nothing
least
trash.
there would be one.
I thought there'd be one like fucking Jets or something.
I'll say
we need
Not
conversation.
just
I'll
trash.
say
Conversation.
if we were gonna do it now that we know the teams, I still think the Niners would be 1.
I agree.
Number 2, either Miami or Philadelphia. I can be convinced to hear Philadelphia.
I'd vote Philly.
Okay,
I think because of Barkley
correct.
and AJ.
I get that, but
And
again,
Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas. is
Raheem
the game
was
changer.
extremely efficient and was a touchdown machine. Was really reliable last season, and then Achane, understanding he is versatile. I think they have the more. They have.
I think
more.
I would lean Miami. It's close, but I would lean Miami.
It is close, but again, I'm here for that 2-3 to be either which way, however you want to shake it. 4 Minnesota, 5 Houston.
Yeah.
We didn't do too bad.
Are you comfortable with that?
Houston and
Or you were
Minnesota.
mute with that?
It's not too close. It's kind of close, but not too close.
I feel like Houston was kind of
It really-
easily
it-
agreed upon.
It depends where you think
Was that
Stefon
rude of
Diggs
us?
is.
I don't know if Houston is easily 5.
The
No.
6th team I had was Chicago, with DJ Moore, with Keenan Allen, with Gerald Everett.
Well, I think the Texans
Swift,
are over
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
I
That
would
was the
say
6th
that
team I had in here.
That's
just
still
in case.
last.
If you think Stefon Diggs is who we showed the last 7, 8, 9 weeks of the season, whatever it was, then Houston's easily 5th. But if you think he still has a talent to be a top 5 dude, you can make the argument they're probably as high as 4.
Because Nico and him, you could argue they have 2 top 15 wide receivers,
And Tank Dell, I mean,
right? I
not
mean,
top 15, but if he was healthy this full upcoming season, he was the wide receiver 2 there, bro. He could have had 11, 12.
Dalton Schultz is one of the better tight ends in the league. Joe Mixon, not the same
He's-
running back
he's-
that he once
So it's
was.
crazy as hell to have the Dolphins at 5.
It is.
Oh my God, that's
It
what
is.
you would do?
I was thinking
Tyreek
about
Hill
it.
is the
Tyreek,
first, second best receiver
but
in the
like
league.
Nico and Tank versus like Waddle, it's like
Okay, it's
But Tyreek and Stephon Diggs.
for sure the
Yeah,
gap
there's
is
a
there.
gap,
But
there's a
Diggs
gap.
is still really good.
so is Waddle.
He's
Waddle's
cool.
solid too.
Nico and Tank are kind of OD.
Like Waddle still had 1,000 last year, and you
He
wouldn't
was
even
hurt.
think that.
That's cute.
It is, right? Like that's how I feel.
No, Waddle's
like I
good.
didn't think Waddle had a great season last year. You still look at the numbers. Wow, he had over a rack. How?
No, Waddle's still good.
That's only 2 players that get the ball.
That's kind of true, honestly. They need a third.
Damn near one.
That's why Jonnu Smith's a cute pickup. I'm not even joking.
So, Riv, your Houston Texans. Should they be looked at as contenders now? Super Bowl contenders, year 2 Stroud?
Year 2 Stroud. You know, that'd be really impressive if he could do some things others couldn't do. You know, that would be really awesome if he could just go to the Super Bowl year 2. You know, go eclipse that trophy. But there's still this big waking demon over there in Kansas City that you got to get past. You know, but I do think picking up Diggs was tough. You know, I think getting a player was not really going to cost you much. You know, can kind of come in, kind of understand the culture that you're building over there. Maybe he come in there, have a different mindset, have a little bit of a game-changing mindset, understand who D'Amico is, who CJ is, and kind of just like, all right, I'm here for the train ride. I'm here, you know, to ride job backs. Yeah. Had nothing else to say.
I think you saved yourself with backs.
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
I
just
did, I
said
did.
ride jaw, it would have been crazy.
Yeah, I had to say backs. But I do think the move is cool. It definitely opens up the field more. You have him, Tank Dell's coming back healthy next year. Nico Collins just had his big breakout year. Both of them really did. Then I believe they kept Dalton, which was huge for them, right? They kept Dalton Schultz.
Yes.
Did it?
Yeah.
Yes,
So
re-signed
they just picked up Joe Mixon. So their offense is gonna be insane to watch. And then you got year 2 CJ. You picked up some guys on the defensive end and Daniil Hunter. You still have Derek Stingley. Like, you still have Jalen on the safety. Like, this is a really good team. That division isn't the strongest. You know, you have the Jaguars who are kind of like sitting on whatever. They haven't made too many moves. The Colts haven't made insane moves. They just brought a couple players back. And then you have the Titans. They made some good moves, but they're still relying on Will Levis. So this is a division that you can still win, you know, but now you're looking at a tougher schedule. You're looking at teams like Baltimore who are still hanging around. The Jets are going to get healthy. You know, you got Bengals, Joe Burrow coming back. Joe Burrow coming back. I don't know if I can outright say they're just title contenders. They've definitely made contending moves, and that's what you want to see in a team in the offseason that realize what they had. Like, they realize they have C.J. Stroud, Nico Collins, Tank Dell. D'Amico Ryan is one of the best coaches in the league. The defense is young and inspiring. They realized they had that, so they decided, we're going to make moves now while C.J.'s on a rookie deal, because, you know, that rookie deal really helps you out, and we're going to try to win this thing now. And even though Kansas City did just go to the Super Bowl it felt like throughout the regular season they were their most vulnerable. You know, it felt like they were a team that kind of was limping. And then you look at like Josh Allen. They just traded Stefon Diggs. You know, you got Baltimore kind of lost a little bit. So it's like now you're looking at the AFC and it doesn't look too stacked. And now we just picked up a couple pieces in free agency. So for me, I don't want to call them outright and say they're title contenders. I do definitely think they put themselves in comfortable position to compete this year. They put themselves in comfortable position to kind of like be one of those top teams in the AFC. You know, they already had a good playoff run. They went out, they destroyed Cleveland, and then they went out to, unfortunately, they lost to Baltimore. But that was the kind of the ass kicking they needed to now come into year 2 with the new pieces they have and kind of make a big statement. So I'm looking at this team and I'm excited. I don't want to call them contenders yet because I want to see them play first, but they've definitely made contending moves.
So who was the quarterbacks you were referencing right there early on?
What?
That CJ
Year
Stroud
2 didn't take the jump, apparently.
Yeah, year 2 quarterback. CJ's going to do things that other guys couldn't.
Oh, Justin Herbert. Yeah.
I knew he was talking about Herbert.
Yeah. Who did you think I was subbing? Tua? I don't acknowledge.
No,
Tua.
I don't know. That's why I asked you the question. I didn't know.
I have this fake war with Herbert fans. It's kind of fun.
Why do you have a war?
Because I troll them about how CJ's better than him and how he's done things Herbert can't do. You know, just like nice fun thing. So now I'm just going all the way with this hate.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could have thrown a few other guys. I mean, you could have thrown Jalen. Could have thrown Josh. I mean, is there another Jalen that we acknowledge? Yeah.
Year 2 we went to the Super Bowl.
No.
Year 2 starting.
Got it. I was going to say year
Josh,
2 leave.
Unfortunately, I won't do that.
I was going to say because year 2 Josh was
Ass.
Yeah. Was like
do
last in completion percentage, right?
I think he made the playoffs though.
He did.
He did, and
That
lost
was-
in the first round.
played,
They were up
Deshaun.
16-0.
It's a great game.
They lost to the Texans.
They did.
That's the shot.
It was
That's when we did
unbelievable
the pitch fumble shit.
game. That was dumb.
The best.
But let's talk about Houston, because when we had our conversations about power rankings top 10, if I'm not mistaken, I had them around 5 or 6. I really like the moves that they made, especially on their defense. Bringing in Danielle Hunter, opposite side of Will Anderson. Bringing in Danigo Autry from a division rival. You go and you bring in Azeez Al-Shaair. I mean, they really made some excellent moves on the defensive side. Now, on top of it, now you go and you make some more moves on the offensive side. We were happy that they brought back Dalton Schultz. We were happy about them bringing in Joe Mixon. I think I would have liked to see them be more in competition to bring in Saquon Barkley, really give them that next level running back, that next level weapon there, especially understanding Joe Mixon simply hasn't been that same level of running back, especially these last couple of years. But now you go on opposite side of Nico. Now we're now wondering, when is Tank Dell going to be at 100% to start? Is he going to be at 100% to start the season? Is it going to take 4 weeks? How long until he's back? No, we have Stefon Diggs opposite side of Nico Collins. I mean, this is exactly what you would dream of if you are a Houston Texans fan and you have one. Well, let me say 2. Let me not be disrespectful. Because at the forefront, we obviously are thanking CJ Stroud. Because what a franchise quarterback does to your rebuild is drastic. When you know you have a guy, it makes all these moves easier. We know that we can really overextend ourselves because we have a guy that we can win with right now. And while he's on this rookie contract, we're going to do everything we can to put the best supporting cast around him. And next, I want to shout out their GM, of course, Nick Caserio. He's been here since 2021. He's done an excellent job, of course, hitting on the franchise quarterback in a CJ Stroud, using that pick that they had to trade up from, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, with the Cleveland Browns pick, to trade up to pick 3 with the Arizona Cardinals, giving away their, actually, I'm wrong. They used their pick in this draft. They gambled it. They said, hey, we're going to be a lot better than what people think, Andrew. Don't think that we didn't know that you were one of those guys that thought that you would be one of the top 5 picks. You'd be giving the Cardinals a top 5 pick. I was wrong because CJ Stroud proved to be a lot better than any of us could have ever imagined. They used their first in this draft, and they go and they get Will Anderson at pick 3. He goes and wins the defensive rookie of the year. They go and they hit on Tank Dell in round 3. They go in last year's or 2 years ago, they go and they draft Derek Stingley. In round 2, they draft Jalen Petrie. In his first draft, did not have a first or a second round pick, drafts Nico Collins. He has done an excellent job of putting an unbelievable group of players around a franchise quarterback in such a short amount of time. And doing this after trading Deshaun Watson, who at the time was their franchise piece, and getting the return that they did from Deshaun Watson, 3 first-round picks from the Cleveland Browns, that they're still going to have assets going forward from that trade. that is probably the worst trade, one of the worst trades in NFL history. I can't really talk too much. Wear a Broncos shirt. Russell Wilson, bad trade too. But that Deshaun Watson trade is pretty damn bad. But the two of them are going to be a great duo going forward. It really starts with, of course, C.J. Stroud. I understand the player is the one that has to go out there and ball the hell out. But it's fun times in Houston. And this is a team that contenders is always going to be something I worry about, understanding that you have the beast over there in Kansas City, like Riv already mentioned. You have to respect them. But damn, this is damn close to me putting them in that conversation. I mean that honestly.
I think the only thing that's stopping us is that CJ Stroud, still so young in year 2. You got a year 2 head coach, offensive play caller. I think that's really the only thing stopping me from putting them in contender status, because I look at the AFC South, Jacksonville, the Colts I do think Anthony Richardson is going to be fantastic, and the Titans. I feel very strong that they're going to go and win that division, maybe with ease too, with how great this roster is. They have arguably, we just did the top 5, but they probably have a top 7 to 8 weapons room in the NFL as we stand right now. Stefon Diggs, I don't think he's washed. I don't think those last 8 or 9 games of the season is actually what Stefon Diggs is right now. Is he a top 5 receiver in the league still? I'm not sure if he is still going to be at that height, especially because he's going to have to share the field with 3 other great pass catchers when you include Dalton Schultz, Tank Dell once he's healthy, and of course Nico Collins, who had a breakout season last year. You just got to hope that Stefon Diggs, the issues he had in Buffalo, don't carry over to Houston. And I'm probably being optimistic here because I don't think he's going to see the same amount of targets that he did in Buffalo. In Buffalo, these last few seasons, he was the league leader multiple times in terms of targets. Him and Josh Allen. Josh Allen was peppering him with targets. Every single season, he was amongst the top, if not the number 1 player in targets. And with all of these weapons, I don't know if he's going to be that involved. But I think when you add Stefon Diggs to this offense, you saw how great C.J. Stroud was. And even though their offensive line, I don't think is fantastic. Of course, you have Laramie Tunsil, but outside of that, there's no one I really love there. He still had one of the lower pressure to sack numbers in the NFL last season. And for a rookie, too, it's one of the more impressive things you can do. We discussed this a little bit last episode with Jaden Daniels, because you see a guy like Bryce Young, I want to say was number 1 in the league last year. So when you see and when you recognize that you have a super talented player like CJ Stroud, you have him on that rookie deal, and you have defensive players in peace with drafting guys like Derek Stingley and Will Anderson in years part, but then pairing them with free agents like Danielle Hunter, you're kind of having this perfect marriage. This is like the blueprint way to rebuild a franchise. You draft CJ Stroud, you hit on the head coach and offensive coordinator, you already have a couple of weapons, and you trade for a true wide receiver 1 while bringing in other pieces around to kind of fill in the spots. It's the blueprint to how you rebuild a franchise. Everyone wants to do it. The Jets try to do the same exact thing when you sign when you draft your quarterback number 2 overall. You hire the 49ers guy in the West Coast offense. Unfortunately, didn't work out for them. But if you're a Texans fan, I mean, there were some dark years there in between Deshaun and getting CJ Stroud. I know it wasn't super long, but there were some bad quarterback plays. There was some questionable head coaching hires that only last for a season, and you could tell that they were laying duck. So the fact that where they are now, which is to me the clear number 1 in the AFC South, I mean, you can't predict or you couldn't expect anything better.
No.
What I'm most interested to see is how these players are going to play together. Tank Dell, that was an interesting dynamic with him, because he got hurt last year, unfortunately. And the way he's built, you can argue, is a bit injury prone. He's on the smaller side, so those hits will linger on more for him. So I feel like not only was this move a move to strengthen your receiving core, it was also Tank Dell insurance, because he's a rookie. You don't have much of a sample size of if he can stay healthy or not. This was to assure that they have 2 wide receivers in the postseason that defenses have to game plan for. The Texans, they're doing everything the right way and how you're supposed to do it. But there's now a lot of pressure on Bobby Slowick. Is Bobby Slowick last year coming from the 49ers tree? His formations are very condensed. On early downs, the Texans were 25th in pass frequency, even though they had a top 10 EPA when they passed the ball on early downs. A big reason why they didn't pass the ball more is because you have to keep defenses honest and playing the run, so they would get a lot of single high looks, and that led to their efficiency passing the ball. How Slowick runs the offense, it's condensed looks. It's 12 personnel. So now you add Stefon Diggs into the mix. that offense has to spread out more. Will you be able to run the same offense last year with two guys that you trust at receiver now versus this year? And now CJ Stroud plays a totally different way. With these Kyle Shanahan quarterbacks, we always see that they have guardrails within the offense in place. They do things a certain way. But when you add a blue chip player like Stefon Diggs, it forces you as an OC to adapt and to try to maximize every player on the roster and every receiver. So what I'm curious to see is CJ Stroud going to play in a similar offensive system that he played in last year, or this year are they going to ask him to do more, be more shotgun based, be more empty based, and scan and navigate the field? So that's the leap that I'm looking for with CJ Stroud. But history shows that whenever rookies or first-year starters get a weapon like this, they are in the MVP conversation. And I think when you have a team as talented as this team, as the Texans on offense, CJ Stroud realistically should be an MVP candidate. And I feel like there is no pushback that anybody should have in saying that the Texans are the biggest threat to the Kansas City Chiefs. They are. I mean, not only do you add a receiver of Stefon Diggs' caliber to CJ Stroud in that offense, but Danielle Hunter's 16.5 sacks is now added to the defensive line of Will Anderson. He's there. Will Anderson could be one of the best edge rushers in the league, and you add Danielle Hunter, the secondary is going to be sound. It now gives DeMeco Ryans more reins to toy around with this defense and ways to confuse offenses. There isn't another AFC team that I look at and I say, you know what, the Texans aren't as talented as them. They match up with every single team in the AFC.
But being a threat to Kansas City, specifically Kansas City, you still wouldn't put the Bengals over them? Because I think you can make the argument for number 3, but I would still probably have the Bengals as the biggest threat.
I still don't love that defense from the Bengals. I understand you have Joe Burrow, you have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins.
Who knows about T?
But my thing that I come back to is I still can't trust this defense, where the rush defense was not good by any means last season. The secondary, like Joel mentioned, is young, but they showed some promise towards the end of the season. Still have to see how they develop going into this upcoming season. I look at the Texans, understand that, I mean, what really is their hole?
The Texans have a better team.
I think they have a better team.
They have a better team.
I think they have a better team.
If you're putting the Bengals over the Texans, it's simply because you believe Joe Burrow is that much better of a quarterback than CJ Stroud that he could mask all the weaknesses on the Bengals.
Is that the case?
I don't think so, but I've seen Joe Burrow beat Patrick Mahomes already. I saw when Joe Burrow was healthy last year, dominate the San Francisco 49ers. I know they've lost some pieces, but I just want to give the Bengals their credit too.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with respecting Joe. I'm fine with respecting the Bengals for what history's shown us.
I think that's fair to have the Texans 3. So maybe I can't.
I'm just going off both sides of the ball. Offensively, it's fine to say that, hey, the Bengals can be right there with the Texans. They've shown it, especially when healthy. But the defense right now, I mean, the veterans that they acquired in this offseason, I feel like it's just shaping up that they're going to be the safer defense to choose going in.
The Jets 4 on that list.
If I could count on them being healthy, I could put them high, but I can't count on that.
Sure. Gotta win the division first, buddy.
I really had the Jets.
You think the Bills
high
still
last
going to win the
season,
division?
Too.
Until they lose it.
Yes. That's what I had. I had the Texans at 5, Jets at 6.
Well, right now the Texans, they're plus 1,500 to win the Super Bowl. This is according to FanDuel, by the way. 7th in odds, plus 700 to win the AFC, and plus 110 to win the AFC.
Do you
South.
have the teams above them? I can just look.
Plus 110 to win the AFC South.
If I were to guess, I would say the Chiefs, the 49ers, the Lions, the Ravens. They're tied with the Bills.
Bengals?
The Bengals, I think, might be above them or tied, same odds or similar odds. The Eagles might be one of those teams, although I'm not sure.
Detroit, maybe.
All right, so the Niners are 1 at plus 550. Of course, I have ad block on. The Chiefs are 2nd at 650. Ravens are 3rd at plus 900. Lions are 4th plus 12. Bills still 1,400.
I respect the GOAT.
Bengals are tied with them, 1,400, and then there's the Texans at plus 1,500, like you mentioned. The Jets are not in the top 10.
Where are the Eagles? Respectful.
The Eagles are right after the Texans at plus 16.
I'll put $10 in that.
Now, what do you think about the Cowboys being at plus 18?
Whatever.
People are wasting their money.
They'll know.
Cowboys have a better chance than the Jets.
They'll know better soon enough.
The Packers are at plus 2.
Oh,
now
so
Joel.
I might put 10 on that.
Maybe.
Wait, you should.
That's crazy.
Plus 2.
Plus 2.
Plus
Win
2.
You
to
could
win the whole
always,
thing.
you could always hedge in the
set
Super
the
Bowl
claim,
too if they make
Plus
it.
2,000.
Plus 2,000.
Oh, that's a great deal. That's a bargain. I would do
That
it.
is no, it's a bargain. Fair enough.
Plus 2,000.
I would do.
for-
There's
That's
a lot
something
of
I would throw
teams-
$10 on.
went
There's a
200.
lot of teams ahead of the Packers that I feel more confident the Packers over them.
Didn't you?
You had them go to the Super Bowl.
You had them. You had Jordan Love win an MVP.
No, I said he could be an MVP candidate. I didn't have him win an MVP.
No,
Let
but
him
you
go to
had
the Super
Jordan.
Bowl.
You
had
had
them-
Jordan and the Packers going to
Yeah.
the whole thing and winning it.
You said that.
I
already.
think they can go to Super Bowl. I don't know about winning.
You said that
No,
he
you
can
said they're
go
going
to,
though.
But
That-
still, bro, you could hedge. You get
Chiefs
10 on
versus
200.
Bro,
Packers.
Chiefs
You're
don't have
chilling.
Legarius anymore. There's a little bit of a weakness now.
Yeah, but it would be Chiefs Packers next year, Super Bowl.
Imagine
So
what
put up-
Dontavian
put up
Wicks would
plus
do to that
2,000.
secondary.
Oh my god.
Do some things, man. He would do
I'm
some-
here for that. I'd be a huge Packers fan.
No, I think that's a matchup though.
I'm gonna have to get a cheesehead if that happens.
That is the matchup I got early on. Chiefs versus Packers.
Where are the
like
Jets, man? Disrespect.
That's insane.
I gotta wait and see them.
Nah.
I'm not gonna build any offseason hype for the Jets this year.
Not you more.
All in on the Texans defeating Thanos. Oh man, I would love that.
Bills and Eagles early Super Bowl.
No way.
Have you seen that they're doing
I'd be
this
a loser
thing?
if I didn't pick my teams.
Respect that.
They're doing this thing with C.J.
Can't pick the
Stroud
Broncos. We're cooked.
against Patrick Mahomes, and through the years, there have been a lot of quarterbacks that they've compared Mahomes to the Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning of this era. It was Deshaun Watson at first. That was the first one. Then it was Josh Allen. Then it became Joe Burrow. Now I think it's C.J. Stroud.
So never Lamar.
Lamar Jackson's another one. They didn't meet in the playoffs until now, though. That's why. So yeah,
Better,
Lamar,
or Mahomes in that game.
and now C.J. Stroud,
Said he,
Who
in the
played
game
better
they
than-
just played.
uh-huh.
Mahomes.
I don't think Lamar was great by any means. They
I
still
don't
had a
think
chance to
Mahomes
win
was
at
that
the
great
end.
either.
No, he's playing the first-ranked defense though.
Defensive game.
Oh, it was a big defensive game.
Yeah, I mean the Chiefs defense went on dominant stretch to close the year, so Lamar.
I mean, I
faced
think
that.
I seen a
I can't
stat
believe
that
he said that. Like, just trying to
Yeah,
gloss
like
that
the
over.
Chiefs defense was fucking pushovers.
over the last 20 years,
Trying to ignore it too. You see.
Yeah,
the Chiefs
sickening.
Super Bowl run
Nah,
was
he's nuts.
the luckiest.
Huh?
They had this stat
Oh,
of
they
like
No,
were-
genuinely, I didn't hear what you said.
They were on the road.
they
the
were
whole time?
measuring the like what teams in the last 20 years have gotten the luckiest in their Super Bowl run by like DVOA, something one of those stats, and the Chiefs were number one.
How do they assess
Their run.
luck?
Were they underdogs or favorites against the Niners? Because they were underdogs against.
underdogs.
They were underdogs against the Ravens too.
Yeah, they were
how-
underdogs
how-
against everybody.
how do they
outside of the
assess
Dolphins?
Except the Dolphins.
How do they
The
assess
Bills too.
luck?
They were damn.
Yeah.
So luck usually the plays they assess are
They were on the road.
fumbles mostly, because fumbles and like special teams errors, like missed field goals, because turnovers and fumbles especially, that fumble luck tends to go back to the mean. But if you actually dive in deep to the Chiefs Super Bowl run, it's not crazy to say the fumble that Jerry Sneed had when he knocked the ball out of Zay Flowers'
Miracle of God.
arms. I mean, that was an insane play. That was an insane play. Versus the Bills, Tyler Bass, he missed a field goal. That was a huge swing.
Sounds like a rig.
Versus the Dolphins, I think they kind of beat them like pretty
They're not
fairly.
good. So yeah.
Yeah. And against the Niners, what play happened there? Did anybody fumble?
There was a fumble. CMC fumbled on the first opening drive, I think, right?
CMC fumbled.
CMC
But I think
fumbling is
they went
hilarious.
3 and out after that. They went 3 and out for the first couple of drives.
And I think, didn't Moody miss a field goal as well in the game?
Was Nick Foles Super Bowl runner up there?
Nick Foles is lucky?
Yeah.
I have to check.
I wouldn't say Nick Foles was lucky. He was dotting.
I think we were underdogs in every game.
You were
Yep. Shit was insane.
the number one seed, underdogs, every game.
We played Atlanta. We played the Vikings and the Patriots.
I'm tripping, and you guys put up 50 points in the Super Bowl.
Yes. 50 or 40. We spanked Minnesota.
No, that wasn't even a game.
Case, yeah. We
That shocked
belts
me.
to ass.
That shocked me.
Yeah.
That it was like 34-3, whatever
it was really bad. It was really Atlanta game was we lost. We went off like a Atlanta was driving and Julio didn't get the jump ball in the end zone. It was so close.
Damn. I remember
It was a flag.
we were at Sky Zone for a meeting the day that Minnesota Philadelphia game was on, because I remember looking at my phone and thinking, this isn't even close.
We were terrorizing them, bro. It was bad. That was when they had the little miracle in New Orleans. We were supposed to play the Saints. Saints lost, so we played the Vikings.
I will say that was awesome.
Yeah.
That the Saints lost that way. Stop.
Belts to ass. You saw what The Rock did in WWE.
Yo,
If he could do it, why can't I?
Also, on a very separate note, why is The Rock
He's back.
making WWE as amazing as
He's
it is.
The Rock.
He has
the most
so much
electrifying
aura.
man
Here we go.
in sports entertainment.
He has so much aura. I can't believe it.
And people are still cheering.
I'm here.
Hollywood Rock is back now.
All right, swing it.
Oh yeah, facts.
Who do you think's gonna be the champion after WrestleMania?
Cody
Roman
Rhodes.
Reigns or Cody Rhodes?
I'm gonna say it's Cody.
You think it's Cody
It
Rhodes?
can't not be Cody after all this shit. Like it has to be Cody or The Rock. What if The
Roman
Rock
Reigns
is-
is fucking retaining, baby.
Why is it gonna be Roman?
I just don't see how you end a run like this
Vicky.
unless it's on his terms. And you saw what he said? He said that if I lose, I'm gone. Imagine that. You can't lose.
What a
You
sore
can't lose
loser.
Roman. Nah, he would be. He would be. But he's so.
That is crazy.
Like, what do you mean I'm gone?
I will say he's so close to breaking Hulk Hogan's record that I feel like
They
they
just-
keep it until SummerSlam.
They just, I'm a little casual at this, but they've made a game about his story. They've talked so much about Cody Rhodes finishing the story. It's like,
if he loses now, he's
it's like, yeah, what are we like? You've
he's
been
been
in this,
going out cringy recently.
yeah, like,
I'm sorry.
You've been on this story for like 2 years, 3 years. Win.
It's been cringy. I've been cringing watching
I can see a world
Cody
where The Rock
recently.
wins it. No funny shit.
Shout out to my brother Nico. Obviously, he was on the show. He's a huge Cody fan, and I hope that he's not offended when he hears this. But damn, I'm over it. I'm
I like
over
Cody
it.
as a wrestler.
I just, yeah, I do like him as a wrestler.
He's a
in
dog.
ring, he's
Dog.
amazing.
It's just what story do you think is going to be better? Because I think a huge reason why the tribal chief is as successful as it is because he's the champion.
Yeah.
If he's not the champion, it kind of doesn't matter if
If
it's tribal
Cody
chief.
doesn't win here, what story does he have left? What else can he do?
If he wins, though, what do you think happens after he wins?
I think he has a lot of storylines he can continue as the champion. But if he's not the champion, it's like, well, you can't go fight Seth Rollins for the 50th time. What are you going to fight, Drew McIntyre? What are you going to do?
He needs to win a
He
championship.
has to win. And make Randy Orton win the United States Championship.
Here for that.
I'm
Here
sick
for
of this
that.
shit,
Yeah,
man.
don't
Give
need-
my boy a championship.
Logan's been cool, but he's
I-
not Randy.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
need Randy to
yeah,
get some.
you're spitting.
Get some. Come on, get some gold, man.
Did LA Knight's momentum totally stop?
No, he's been cooking recently too.
Who is he in the
AJ
feud with?
Styles.
AJ.
Okay.
Nah, that's been cool too.
Okay.
Nah, he's funny. The fans still love him.
Why am I locked in, man? Shit lit.
You are locked in,
Yeah, bro.
So before we go on to the
My
next
girl
topic,
Bianca better win too.
bro. That trio is out of this world.
That's a black
That's
man's
a
dream, right?
that's a generational trio. Oh goodness.
before we go on to the next topic, this is going to be a Would You Rather Stefon Diggs.
Ah, okay. I like
Addition.
this. Okay, I do like it too.
First name up, who's the wide receiver one in Houston? Nico Collins or Stefon Diggs?
I'm gonna still show some respect to Diggs. I'll go Diggs.
Still Stefon.
I wouldn't be surprised if Nico surpassed him this upcoming season, but I will respect the history of what he's shown me. I'll go Diggs.
After last year, I'm going Nico Collins.
I respect
He
you.
has something
I
special
respect
with
you not
Caesar.
He's a
caring about
dog.
what people think.
Brandon Ayuk.
I think
Brandon
Brandon
Ayuk.
Ayuk.
I think Ayuk's better
I
receiver
think
right now.
it's time.
Damn. Damn.
Hate that for Stefon. I do.
That's just credit to Ayuk. 'Cause I
Yeah.
don't think Stefon's. Ayuk's just one of those guys.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ayuk too.
I'm going with Brandon Ayuk. Next name up, Keenan Allen.
Stefon.
I would take
Diggs.
Stephon Diggs. I don't think there's anything Keenan really does better.
Respect to
than
Keenan
Stephon.
though. He's nice.
I'm going with Stefon Diggs too.
Waiting on Drew.
This is closer than you guys are letting off, man.
No,
It's
Respect
not
Keenan.
close to my eyes. I didn't
Respect
think about it
Keenan.
twice.
I'll go Diggs, but respect Keenan.
Devontae Adams.
Tay.
Still Tay.
Tay.
I would take Tay.
Right now, I'll go Stephon Diggs.
Tay got that.
Really?
Tay got that old
Bro,
soul where you just
Tay
put him.
with O'Connell,
Yeah.
he's whatever his name was. I don't want to
O'Connell,
disrespect
yeah.
there. He still had some blow up games.
Oh, yeah. Devontae Adams is about to be 32, though.
Tay gives me
Okay,
Kawhi
Diggs
vibes.
is about to be 30.
31?
31. He's about to be 31 when the season starts.
What's
A year can make a huge difference, but even then, they similar.
Keenan Allen
They
just had
are.
a career
I think
year.
Not Tay.
Oh, we're
I
talking
know.
about Tay.
No, I'm just saying he's around their age.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he's. I think
He
he
definitely.
33.
Yeah.
Keenan is older.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. It's
Keenan
a
might be
different.
34 when the season
Oh,
It's
no,
a
he's
different-
31. He's
Yeah,
31.
I was gonna
Keenan
say.
is 31.
I thought he was
When does he
33.
turn 32?
I'm
In
crying.
April, couple weeks.
The age is
The
factor.
difference
what
is
we're
just
doing here.
with
They're all
Keenan,
the same age.
with Keenan and
Taste
Stephon,
better.
it's just how they get open.
I agree. I think Stephon.
It's just how they get
yeah.
open.
So I'm taking Tay.
I'm taking Tay too. Yes.
Brother, just you're sure?
You're locking in Diggs.
I think it's
I
Stephon
don't
Diggs.
think. I mean, I don't
think
think
it's
it's
Stephon
ridiculous.
Diggs.
It's ridiculous.
Okay.
Amari Cooper.
Stephon
Stephon
Diggs.
Diggs.
Stefan.
Shout out to Amari though.
Amari just had a hell of a year.
He
Shout out
did.
to Joe
So
Flacco.
did Keenan Allen.
So did Keenan
You
Allen.
don't care.
Thank you.
You don't.
Thank
you.
you.
Don't,
But
you
Amari
really don't care
Cooper
about
did
Keenan
it
Allen,
different.
career
Nah,
year.
Amari
it's just-
Cooper's a dog.
The way they did it is different.
Yeah,
Now,
for
all
sure.
respect to Keenan, but the way
I
they
don't know.
do
Do
it
you
is
have
a little
respect for
different.
Keenan?
No, yeah, I do.
You've been mightily
don't show
disrespectful
it.
to him.
I don't.
You don't.
I'm not disrespectful to Keenan.
Shout out to Coop though. Coop nice. I'll take Diggs.
Garrett
Who are
Wilson.
you taking?
I was ready for that.
Coop
Yeah, you didn't.
or
Where are you?
Diggs?
Yeah,
Cooper Cup?
No,
Brother.
Amari Cooper. You
Just
asked
ask
him.
the guy.
Oh, sorry. Amari Cooper or Stefon Diggs.
You're the
It's
big
close.
Diggs guy here.
Yo, he tried to move on from that,
He
like
did.
not
He
give
for
an
sure
answer.
did. Yeah, who you got?
I will go Stefon Diggs.
Do you feel good about that?
He does not.
You think
It's
Amari
close.
Cooper's better than Tay?
No,
Okay.
but it's close.
Okay.
It's close. It's
With
close.
who?
I would wonder where you have
Tay.
Cooper
Tay.
Who's,
ranked.
who's the next player?
The next play where Amari Cooper is nice.
No, he
He's
is.
not Tay. And
At
if you're
this
gonna bring in
point-
an age thing, Coop is gonna be 30 soon.
Amari Cooper
Is nice.
is
He's really good.
arguably like one of the best route runners in the league right
So
now.
is Tay.
So is Tay.
No, I know, but
Tate might still
Like
Amari
this,
Cooper
it's
is
funny that we
faster
say
right
this
now.
when it's Keenan, it's Diggs, it's Tay, and Cooper all in a group as best route runners in the league.
but Amari Cooper has more explosiveness right now.
Oh, more than Tay?
Yes,
Think so?
yes, yes.
Tay's always been more savvy and smooth and more just technical.
He's got some speed though.
And his hands are.
But I think Tay off the line
If
can
you
still
ask
win
every
one on one
receiver,
just
they
as much
still
as
say
Amari.
Tay's like the best.
I think with his releases, I mean Amari's got some great releases.
That's
If you
respect.
ask every receiver, they'll have Tay in their top five.
Yeah, they still
and
think
respect,
he's
like
one-
you just said.
No, I think they just put him in because they just watch him work.
Well, if you ask
It's the thing.
Tyreek Hill, he'll have Christian Kirk in the top 5.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Is that recent news?
What they like to do is like, oh, who's a low key guy? Like they want to show some. That's what they usually do.
That's just okay.
Why are you disrespecting Christian Kirk right now?
Because Christian Kirk's not top 5, but he's a
top-
low
he's
key,
not
really
top
good
20.
receiver.
There's nothing low key about it.
But I'm saying like when you're
Respect
talking about top 5, you're like, who's some of the best
Right,
receivers
Joel?
in the game?
Tell him respect Christian
So
Kirk.
Kirk, some respect. He's nice.
Christian Kirk's
Solid
been
route
that guy.
He's cool.
Talk.
Some new. Next name up, Puka Nacua.
You
We didn't do Garrett.
We
Oh,
never
Garrett
answered.
Wilson?
I would go Diggs.
Let me ask it again then.
Sorry,
Garrett Wilson.
I would go Diggs.
I would go Garrett Wilson.
I go Garrett Wilson.
I will go Garrett Wilson too.
I'm the only Diggs guy here.
He finally has a quarterback.
He had. Oh,
He's
yeah.
insane.
Zach Wilson. Hate
He's
that
so
for him.
good.
I'll go Diggs still though.
If Aaron Rodgers is healthy, we can see a breakout year from
If
Garrett.
you gave Garrett Wilson Jacoby Brissett, I think he breaks 12.
Probably easily too.
I think he breaks 1,400, I'll be honest.
Okay.
Garrett is that good. I think he's that good. Next name up, Jalen Waddle.
Diggs.
I would take
Stefon
Diggs still.
Diggs.
Yeah.
I'm going on Stephon Diggs. CeeDee Lamb.
Okay, brother, you
CD.
skipped Puka Nacua.
Because we all answering in different times. I'm confused.
just keep.
What are you doing,
just
bro?
keep the order.
No, look, it's not in the order I'm telling you. I'm just these are name pool and I'm just
I
drawing the
will go
names.
Diggs over Puka. By the way,
I would take Puka
No,
over
now you're gonna have to
Diggs.
ask it again.
Okay, here we go.
Puka Nacua or Diggs.
I would still go Diggs.
I would take Puka.
Yeah, Puka Nacua.
You're still going Diggs?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going Puka right now. Jalen Waddle, did we answer that?
You
all
didn't answer
Stephon
CeeDee Lamb.
Diggs.
You said CeeDee Lamb. You didn't. But
CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb.
Wait, I didn't answer the Jalen Waddle one.
Why
First
didn't
time.
you?
why didn't you answer?
Because
No, that's
the
not
answer
your
was
fault.
Diggs.
That's not
No,
your fault.
it
That's
was
not your
just
fault.
not my
I
turn
thought
to
I've been
speak.
asking.
Yeah, you did.
I
That's
did.
not your fault.
It was just
That
not my
your
turn to
fault.
speak.
But
Brother
you want to
man.
know what happened? When I asked him,
Yes, I
instead
said
of
Puka
answering,
Nacua.
He takes
he brought
forever.
up Puka.
Yeah.
Is that wrong with me?
I feel like
We already
passed
moved on,
that.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest.
I'll be honest. This
Puka
this
Nacua
last
is
like 3
important.
minutes has been so painful.
We already moved on.
Puka
We
Nacua
should
is
redo
important.
the whole segment. I'll give you
Yeah,
that.
we should.
Now, Jalen Waddle. Oh, you going?
No, I'm
Diggs
going with
or Waddle?
Diggs.
Okay. Okay. We all picked CeeDee Lamb.
100%.
Correct.
It's not even
Not
a
a thought.
conversation. Shouldn't even brought his name up, TBH.
And these are the last two names I'm gonna mention. DJ Moore.
DJ Moore.
DJ Moore.
I'm here. We're here. Dehls. We're
DJ
fucking
Moore,
here,
yeah.
Dehls. That me, Dehls. That me.
I mean,
That
the
was-
route running it's maybe not as good as Stefon Diggs, but he's an elite route runner. The
explosive.
explosiveness,
He's
one of the
one of
most
the ones.
explosive receivers. Had some of the biggest plays in the NFL last season.
Dehls,
DJ
we were,
Moore.
we were
yeah.
fighting Deontay Johnson conversations. We're here now.
Respect Deontay Johnson. I don't appreciate that.
I'm going with
We're
DJ
a
Moore
step
too.
above at this point.
Damn.
We're trying to get into that top 7.
It is
over
close,
here, brother.
though. I'll go DJ.
Last name Cooper Cup.
I'll go Diggs.
I'm going Diggs as well.
No. I'm going to go Cooper Cup.
Okay. Ain't mad
That's
at that.
close. Because Cup had some games last year when he was healthy on the field, didn't produce.
Yeah,
no,
true.
I would probably lean Diggs.
His
but
health
that's close.
factor
That's
is
the
a little
closest
nuts.
one for me.
Maybe he was never healthy.
How far is
Yeah, that's fair.
like Ayuk or DJ?
I would have Ayuk.
I think they're both top 10. I think Ayuk's further though.
Okay, so
I think Ayuk might be like the 7th best receiver in the league, just off the top of my head.
okay, we're fighting. Okay, we're getting somewhere. That's all I needed to hear. So DJ's
Diggs
like
top
10.
10.
Nico Collins or DJ Moore?
I would take DJ Moore.
I'll take DJ too. It's close though.
Damn, that
Nico
one's
got an
tough for me.
argument. Nico's that good though.
Nico is really good.
Nico's
that
OD.
good.
Yeah, just my brother is in top 10 talks, man.
Yo, no Terry McLaurin. Wow.
I knew what you guys were going to say. It was a waste of a name.
Then why'd you ask for CD?
Nah, the CD shit was dumb.
CD's like top 4 in the world.
I know.
Right
I just asked it just because he was there.
Oh, okay.
That's why I asked you different names. Because with Stefon Diggs, there's just a list of names that you know he's not better than. But then there's other ones that
You could have said Trayvon's brother. Trayvon's brother.
Trayvon's brother, indeed.
That could have been a good correlation.
It's almost like somebody
way
told
around.
y'all
Trayvon's
about
teammate.
Brendan Ayuk, though.
You're acting like you're the only person who ever been Ayuk, bro.
I wouldn't know.
I was telling you about him, Dehls.
Nah.
You pushed back on it.
What?
You pushed back on it.
Maybe when Debo was having like his breakout year and you're saying Ayuk's better, I was like, no.
That was 3 years ago.
I know. But you've been high on Ayuk for a minute.
I didn't say
I've always loved
Ayuk was
Ayuk. Big
better
Debo guy,
back
too.
then.
Huh?
I didn't say Ayuk was better back then.
Nah, he was a big Debo guy. I don't know.
That's the only thing I think I would
I said
push
Ayuk
back,
was going to be a
'cause I
top
knew
10
Ayuk was
receiver
dog.
this year, coming into this season.
No Debo love.
It's Stefon Diggs. You think it's a different answer?
Different tax bracket.
It is kind of.
Is
There's
it
a separation.
I wouldn't say different tax bracket. I feel like Debo still makes OD money, similar money.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Tiers in terms of where you
tiers.
rank.
I know, but I'm trying to get specific on your ass. I don't know, man. I love a healthy Debo. Healthy Debo is dangerous.
We're going to overview some win totals for every team in the AFC.
Do you want me to hook you up with those? Because I do have them.
I have them written down, actually.
Oh, okay,
Where did you
sweet.
get yours? What's the source?
CBS Sports.
Okay, I got them from FanDuel. Do you think we're going to have a...
We'll go with the
Clashings?
first name because we are going to start with the AFC, correct?
They'll probably all be the
Yes.
same.
Okay,
We're just
Baltimore
gonna
is
do
the first
AFC.
name you have?
Yes.
All right, is it 11.5?
That's the line.
Okay.
Okay, so these probably should be similar. There shouldn't be too much overlap. Next episode, we're going to overview the win totals for the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, fellas, this is not a prediction. This is just
Fun,
taking a
lighthearted.
glance,
Got it.
looking at what it is right now and how we feel about
Maybe
it.
finding a couple that we really like.
AFC North, the Ravens are at 11.5. I'm going to do this by division. The Bengals at 10.5. The Browns at 8.5. And the Steelers at 7.5, despite winning the offseason, according to Steelers fans, 7.5.
Would I be nuts to feel like the Ravens at 11.5?
It's a little high.
Little
I would
high?
hammer the Browns at 8.5.
Browns over.
Yeah.
Okay,
easily.
okay.
I
That
think
is
they-
also
I
very...
think on a bad year they'll get 9 wins.
That's also Deshaun dependent, but I don't
I don't
disagree.
think it is.
The Steelers are going to win 7 or more games, right? Or excuse me, 7.5.
It's 7.5.
They're
they have
going
to
to
win
win
8
8 or
games.
more games, right?
I think the whole division could legitimately win like 9 games.
I think so too.
The problem with the Steelers is I feel like if they're winning 9 games or 8-9 games, they're clawing to get there.
I agree.
That's a rough ride.
I mean,
That's
aren't
like,
they?
That's
Haven't
like
they
week
been
15 to
clawing?
17. You're stressing.
Yes,
sweating.
they
They've been clawing like for the last 3 years, clawing W's.
I think if the Bengals are
All due
healthy,
respect.
10.5,
I don't know. Your respect level is kind of.
I think that should be fine. They're going to have a 4th place schedule next year.
That's true.
It's kind of how I see the top spot in this division, like around that 11 wins, 12 wins. But again, with the Ravens, I feel like 11.5. That's one of those lines where I'm just like, I'm gonna wait and see.
Yeah,
on
I don't
this
know.
one.
We've talked about a lot of the departures they had this offseason too, whether it's players, whether it's coordinators. I would take the under on 11.5. Bengals 10.5 would go either way, but I like the Browns and Steelers both over their
for
win total.
sure, for sure.
I'm here for that.
In the AFC South, we got the Texans at 9.5, the Colts at 8.5, the Jags at 8.5, and the Titans at 6.5.
Damn.
I take the Texans will win 12 games.
I like the 9.5. Yeah, the Texans should win double digits.
They won 10 last year.
I was gonna say they won 10.
They'll get to 12 this year.
The Colts are 8.5, so they just need to win. We just don't know Anthony Richardson. We gotta hope he stays
What were
healthy.
the
Of course,
Jags?
you can't have
What
one
was the
injury and
Jags
be
line?
injury prone,
8.5.
but he had some injuries in college. Of course, just with his play style, he's gonna be on the move a lot. He's gonna be taking hits. But I mean, if he's healthy for even 14 games, he misses like a month. I still think they
The
could get 9
Texans
wins.
were at 7.5.
The Titans were at
Titans,
6.5.
pardon me. 6.5, and they have a 4th place schedule.
Yes.
That's a sneaky one.
that's
Detective
a
Calvin
steal.
Ridley,
That's a
L'Jarius
sneaky
Sneed.
one.
Yo,
Still
you
got
could
hot.
finesse that. Like you could talk yourself into that week 15,
Tony Pollard.
17.
You hear that,
6
Titans
wins.
fans? You guys were
Trying to figure it out.
disrespecting us in the comment section.
I kinda like
thinking
the
that we were
over on all
slandering
4 of
y'all.
those.
High key,
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck
high
yeah.
key. I'll say this for the Jaguars. They're another team that I'm overly focused on come draft night
They need to
because that pick 17, they could really get a banger. I feel like they have to go one of two ways, whether that's offensive lineman or the wide receiver. If Brian Thomas is there at 17, I feel like that would be an unbelievable pick that you go and you pair with of course Trevor Lawrence, but
And Gabe Davis.
of course Gabe Davis. But more importantly, Christian Kirk. But opposite 8.5 wins, right?
It is 8.5. So they have the Colts and the Jaguars at 9 wins next year. That's what they projected to.
And they did bring in
get.
Eric Armstead, correct? They did try to help out that defensive line. 8.5. I don't know.
Chauncey averaged 28 and 10 for the week.
I think they could win 9+
My
games.
God.
The one that
You're
is
back?
the easiest one is the Texans. 9.5. They had the best offseason. They won 10 games last year. That one, to me, I don't even know what went into that decision to get them there. No, because I just feel like this is easily a 10-win team.
Oh, for sure.
It should be.
But if you notice, their odds haven't changed much with getting Diggs and winning division. So I don't think the FanDuel or whatever it is, the books believe in the Texans. They're not moved at all.
They're not moved by him.
Yeah, they're dumb. Him, the other guy, the coach, like they're not moved by Houston. So
Not being moved by CJ is pretty dumb.
I don't know. He has top 5 aura in the league.
I'm not disagreeing. Give me top 5 aura right now.
Joe Burrow, CJ Stroud.
Joe Burrow number 1 off a rip.
Joe Burrow aura is fucking insane.
All right, I respect
Insane.
that. Over Jet?
This is crazy.
Huh?
Jet?
Jets up. No, that wasn't really an order thing. But
I
Joe
said
Burrow,
top 5 aura.
Oh, and
All right, give me the 5, and then we'll
Joe Burrow,
Got it.
Jettas, CJ, Justin Fields, and Mahomes. Top 5 aura? Yeah.
Mahomes?
I could have sworn that Joe Burrow, we had an aura conversation about him, and you were
Sauce, bro.
Cap. Sauce. You can take Fields out. I'll put Sauce up there.
I think I was talking
What
about
about
his
Mahomes?
IG
He has
captions.
aura?
Nah, I was moved by Joe Burrow's aura. For sure. Maybe you're talking about somebody else.
Jalen Hurts.
He's probably like honorable mention.
No. Can we get Mahomes out of there and put in Hurts?
Mahomes' aura is different. It's not the swaggy aura. It's just like the winning mantra aura that you got to put in there.
Is it similar to like Jokic aura?
Yes. It's like, it's not there,
I just
but it's
had this
there.
conversation with Charles too, and I was just like, "Yo, it's so weird. Like Jokic has no aura, but because he's so dominant,
it's
it
pretty
gives
much
him
that.
aura.
Mahomes has that type of aura. But Jalen Hurts is an honorable mention because his aura is insane.
It oozes. I agree.
But I feel like Joe Burrow, Jettas, and
Sauce.
No, Sauce wouldn't be top 3. Who was I said? CJ is top 3.
Okay.
Joe Burrow?
Yeah, Joe Burrow's aura. If I did say
He does
that
have
before,
aura.
I apologize.
He does.
But his aura is actually insane.
I just was shocked to hear him be the first name that you said. Shocked me.
Nah, his aura,
He does have it.
it's the coolest nickname in the league.
Joe Shiesty?
Shit's kind
Joe
of fire.
Burr?
Joe Cool.
Nah, he has so many.
He does.
No, he's good.
Pick with the cigar in the mouth, bro.
Nah,
that,
he's tough.
That eclipses anything.
He's tough. Listen, I said it. No hater shit towards that man ever again. I low-key want to say I love him. He's the only one.
This is disgusting.
I don't give a fuck, honestly. Shout out to my guys. Shout out to the Bengals. We're here, baby.
I seen a comment.
This guy's a Bengals fan.
That this person commented. It was on a Spotify audio portion of it, so it wasn't much. So it was easy for me to read and see. They were like, "Oh God, please no! Don't let Drew and Dehls get Cincinnati Bengals."
I feel like I've been having to defend the Bengals so far this offseason.
Listen, bro, we're here. My bad.
Disrespect. I mean, I don't know. Let's just be a Joe Burrow guy.
I'll always be a Joe Burrow guy.
Nah, I'm really a Joe Burrow guy from here on out. That's my guy, number 9.
You can only pick 2 quarterbacks from the 2020 class.
Fuck.
Are you dropping Herbert?
I have so many. I honestly like all 5 of them.
2 is 1, I'm assuming.
Oh, I mean, that'll never be eclipsed.
It's a bad one, bro.
He's number 1.
It's a bad one.
Tribal Chief.
I hate
the
that
tribal chief.
I'm so sick no one had more comments about the big bro shit, man.
You are?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're a fucking Dallas Mavericks podcast.
Shit was nuts.
Big
And you
bro
think I
was
give
crazy.
a fuck about it too? I don't. Look at me, Dallas Mavericks fans. I don't care about you in your comments. Keep sending them. Means nothing to me. You guys flame out in the playoffs.
First round?
That'll be some shit. You will see me act a fool on here.
Even if they flame out in the playoffs, I'll still come out the winner.
First round?
Well, they'll be top 6.
What do you mean come out the window?
The winner.
His
not
bet.
window.
It's close now.
They're going to get a top
Shout out to
6
my
seed.
brothers, Golden State. I've been a day 1 fan.
Somebody told me at this table we're gonna get our ass whipped.
That'll happen next game.
See, look, now it's a next game thing. Somebody
Can
told
you
me
play
we're
all
gonna-
again tomorrow?
Yo, but what happened?
No, we play Houston
Let
tomorrow.
me not. Let me relax.
Oh, you guys playing a back-to-back then? You
I'm
play
only a
Friday.
Dallas hater.
We didn't play today though.
I'm saying the next 2 days you have 2 games.
Yes. We have Houston and Dallas. They're in the same state. Probably travel. All we need is 1.
You saw Draymond talking that shit?
He should.
He said
You need the Houston one more than anything.
we end their season.
Yes and no. Like they're mad far behind.
Got a
2
chance.
games.
Nah, I don't think it's 2. I think it's like 4 or 5.
Nah. I don't think it's more
We
than
have
3.
41 wins. How many wins they got?
I'm on it right now. The Golden State Warriors. Oh, dude.
3 games.
It's 3 games.
3 games. God damn.
That was the wind.
Oh, okay.
What fell?
It's 3 games.
I think it's something outside.
Oh, okay.
But I think we beat them twice, yeah. I'm not worried about Houston. I'm more worried about Dallas.
You're trying to catch up to Dallas.
I'm definitely trying to not play the Lakers first.
That'd be tough. A tough match.
Cavs are only a game up on Sacramento.
We needed the Kings to win one. They really screwed the pooch there. We needed one.
Kings won last night.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I mean against Dallas.
Yeah.
Losing both was insane.
You're
That's
a
what
game and a
happens
half
when you doubt Luka
behind
Doncic.
the Suns, too.
I know. It's tough. The Suns and Sacramento.
Yeah.
But I'm saying we needed. I didn't even give a fuck about the. Realistically, actually, I don't care.
We still have a game to make up.
Facts. I don't care about the Lakers becoming top 6. I just want to get into that 7-8 spot.
I'm pretty sure the makeup was yesterday.
Against, yeah?
Oh,
Mavs.
actually, you might be right.
It was a Utah game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Utah game.
I know the Mavs makeup game was yesterday.
We missed 2 games. I think the Utah game was another one we got to make up.
In the AFC East, you mentioned how Vegas wasn't really moved by the Texans against Stefon Diggs. The Bills 10.5 wins, so they're projected to. The line is higher for them than the Texans,
I
and
don't love that one
you
either.
see the moves they made. The Dolphins and the Jets both at 9.5, and then the Patriots at 5.5.
That one is scary.
If the Jets stay 100% healthy.
I like Pat's under. I'm not gonna lie. I think they're gonna be one of the worst teams in the NFL next year.
What's their win total? again?
5.5.
So 6 wins.
Okay.
You said the
I don't know
Bills
if they
are
get
at
six.
what?
I like the Bills
10.5.
under. I like the Jets
They
and Dolphins
have
over.
won 10, 13, 11, 13, 11 in the last 5 years.
The Dolphins are at 9.5.
I like the over.
They,
I would hammer
Are they
that.
dumb?
They'll win
they'll
regular
get to
season
10.
games.
Yeah, they're
undoubtedly.
going to be a double-digit win team. I'd feel the same way about the Jets, too.
I don't know if the Bills would be 11 or 10. That's the thing that scares me.
I lean more towards 10 than 11.
Yeah.
Or even 9. Who knows? Play the Jets twice, could lose twice.
But the
Haven't
Jets
lost
play
twice
the
in a long
Dolphins
time.
twice.
We're going to beat you guys.
I'm looking at the
Haven't done that one
Dolphins
too,
schedule.
So let's have a quarterback.
At home, the Dolphins got the Bills, Patriots, Jets, Jaguars, Titans, Cardinals, 49ers, and Raiders.
Sounds like a cupcake schedule.
Half of the games are pretty tough. The Bills, Jets, 49ers.
Rams.
How
Browns.
is-
Oh, no, not
Packers.
the Rams. It's the Raiders.
Oh.
Yeah. The Jaguars, I think, is still that's a tough game.
Miami should win that one.
They should.
What it has to be? What part of the year?
I don't know. That hasn't come out yet.
If it's
In
late
a
in the year,
way,
they'll choke.
they face the Bills, Pats, Jets, Texans, Colts, Rams, Seahawks, Browns,
They will
Packers on
get
the road.
tested on the road. You might not.
It's a
win
lot
10
of
games,
cold
buddy.
weather places
Yeah,
too.
you got to hope those
You know
games
what?
are in September and October.
I'm gonna have a little hot take. I'll go under.
Under Dolphins, 9-8.
My first under. Yeah. Sorry, buddy.
I'll be honest, you're on idiot watch.
Yeah. Well, you thought they'd win the division. So
You
you're
thought
the
they
big
won the
idiot
Super
here.
Bowl.
Pretty close.
Oh, idiot.
They got hurt. Obviously, that was unrealistic after
They
that.
lost to the Titans.
It wasn't gonna happen.
3
regardless.
minutes.
And if they were healthy, that defense was fire.
The Titans
They
scored
matter.
14 points, like 3 minutes on you guys.
The defense wasn't the
That
problem.
wasn't a health
People
issue.
were
The
hurt.
schedule was
yes.
kind of cupcake for the defense when they were going on their best stretches.
Again, but then they got hurt. They lost Jalen. They lost Chubb.
Yeah, everyone
It's
got hurt.
tough.
The defense really wasn't the problem. It was that the offense couldn't move.
They
When?
couldn't catch.
Against good teams?
No, in the playoffs,
Oh, no,
On the one game.
for sure.
yeah, they couldn't move the ball.
Most definitely, yeah. Again, I mean, but again,
Frostbite.
people lost their fingers
Wait for that.
in that game.
Can't believe people were watching
That was
that.
They
very
lost their
cold.
fingers.
Yeah, in person. it's
Mahomes
crazy.
looked fine.
I mean, he's Mahomes.
Just saying. What's glazing? The fact that I said Mahomes looked fine, or he
We're
said
talking about
it's
the
Mahomes.
Dolphins.
Bro. He's talking about his big bro.
He's talking about his
talking about
big
the
bro.
playoffs.
We're
The
talking about
Dolphins and the Chiefs
specifically.
playoffs.
Yes, the Dolphins.
Have you texted him since?
Nah, I'll probably do
Has he
it.
texted you?
Oh my.
I wish.
Call,
I
text.
wish.
I wish. I'm gonna get him to follow me. I just don't know when. It's gonna happen.
You know,
I really just don't know when.
I just feel like you not calling us big bro and him big bro is just what's so crazy to me.
It's
He's
just
cooking.
it's just not enough of an age gap for us.
We are the same age as Mahomes.
Nah, Mahomes is 28.
Yeah, Mahomes is 28.
Dehls
He
is
turns
27.
29 September 17th.
Who?
Mahomes.
He turns 29.
He's gonna be 29.
Dehls will be 27 in December.
Okay,
It's not a far gap.
I'll be 25 in June.
I'll be 26.
You're 26 this month.
Yes.
Later on this month. You're 2 years older than me.
I'm
You're gonna be 1 year older than me in a couple months.
Okay, well, Dehls is 2 years older than you, so you're gonna call him big bro. It just doesn't happen.
I feel like I think of this like high school, where it's like you call somebody big bro if the gap is like freshman senior kind of gap.
Okay.
When I was a junior, y'all was seniors.
Right.
That's not a big enough gap for me.
My cousin Lil Joey, the guy who he actually did the logo for our podcast.
Yes.
That's Lil Bro. He's a year and a half younger than me.
That is Lil Bro.
That is Lil Bro.
How long have you known him, though?
My entire life.
Exactly. You saw him when he was a little bro.
But again, a year and a
That's
half
when
difference.
you met him. You seen him grow up.
That's a good point. We didn't see Mahomes grow.
Mahomes didn't see you grow up either.
I saw him grow up in the league, man.
That's a good point. You did.
As a man.
We all did.
I'll be honest. He was damn near a man day one on that field.
He really was. The AFC East, I think the Dolphins and the Jets are tricky. It's going to be one of those teams that end up falling off. It could be the Dolphins because of their schedule or the Jets because of injuries. It really doesn't matter. It could be either or.
Could be the Jets, bro.
And the Bills, 10.5. I mean, if the offense doesn't drop off much and the defense is good, I can see it. I just don't know if I can just dethrone the Bills when they've been so dominant in the AFC East. And they clearly have the best quarterback in the division.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's so good.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Yeah.
He's the best in the league to me.
Yeah, wipe off a little.
He
he's
is so
amazing.
good. Like with the Jets, I don't know how Aaron Rodgers is going to come back. That's a question mark. Is he going to play like a top 10 quarterback?
I'm tired of this unbiased shit when it comes to you, man. Like, it's Aaron Rodgers, it's the Jets. Like, you can be happy. You can be optimistic. Like, you can be optimistic. You're allowed.
Let that be Mahomes. Oh, God. Shit,
Of course, because Mahomes is like
You have
14 years
you have a
younger.
4-time MVP as your quarterback. You're allowed to be optimistic.
He's 40 years old.
No one's going to be upset if
as
he
long
guys
as
underwhelmed.
he's fucking the
your favorite
15th
team.
best quarterback,
He's the
bro,
15th best, you're
we're
swimming.
fine.
It's your favorite team. You're
We
allowed.
don't need him to be
He's-
Superman.
He's 40 years
It's
old.
not going to be hard to be better than Zach.
He's turning 41 in December.
Brady played till he was 44.
Rodgers is not Brady.
Some have argued Rodgers is better.
He's not.
Talent-wise, they have.
No, he's not, though.
Talent-wise?
He's not. And I don't think he takes it as serious as Brady took it.
I think that's fair.
That's a good, excellent point. The best point.
Aaron
Tom
Rodgers,
Brady's a hard worker.
if this was last year, I'm all for being hyped. He injured his Achilles on a first drive in the regular season.
He has so much time to get healthy. We took his,
Look
we
at the
gave his,
optimism over
we
there,
gave his
man.
body a year off from all those hits.
And he could have
Just
came
his
back.
Achilles.
He could have came back this season. Didn't.
The history of quarterbacks that perform post 40 is a short list.
But Aaron Rodgers is probably one of not the best quarterback. Excuse me, Tom Brady, probably the second best quarterback
I'll
on
be
that
honest, if
list.
this was my team, I would never bring that stat up ever.
How old was Brett Favre when he was on the Vikings?
He actually might have
38.
been 40 flat. Let me check. So he was with the Vikings for 2 seasons. His second year, he fell off.
He was ass.
First year, he was 40. His second year, he was 41. He was garbage. 41 is usually like
And we live in-
But his year 40 season, they went to
NFC
NFC Championship.
They did.
And we live in 2024. What year was that?
2009.
Yeah.
How about you have some
Brett Favre
optimism?
was slinging that shit too, man.
No, I'm not gonna have any optimism until I see the Jets healthy for like six games.
You're lying.
No, I swear to
We
God.
started
see
off
that
4-0, it doesn't matter.
That's what I'm
Oh, it
saying.
will
No, he's
matter.
moved.
Well, of course.
You're going to see that
started
first
off 2-0.
game.
win every
He's
game.
lit.
See,
Man,
but what
fuck
happens?
that. We start off 1-0.
That's what I'm saying. And Rodgers goes out there and
Goes
slings for
300.
3.
Well, I hope that's the case.
You're going to be punching.
Well, I hope that's the case.
If Rodgers has 300 first game, he's going to say nasty.
All I'm going to
things
say is
like
I'm going to look at you guys and say I was the highest on the Jets.
There was so much hype that went into last season.
You like that?
All the
'Cause I do.
energy that went into last season, once the injury happened, it went out the window. And I ain't going to talk about the Jets like that again until I see some reassurance.
Because
on
you're the
field.
jinx?
No.
I'll be honest, share your mind
Because
if you don't
Jets are
think
the
I'm picking
Jets are
the
the
division.
jinx. Jets are the jinx in general.
We're in the division. We're here. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
There's nothing wrong with believing in your team.
If we're healthy, we're winning the division. I
There
think
we
we
go.
are.
There
I feel like you gotta, with the Jets, talk yourself. Like most people are talking themselves out of the Jets. It's like everything. What could go wrong? What? God forbid, the first time in like 15 years, something goes right. God forbid.
That doesn't ever go right though.
But it happened 15
Something
years
has
ago.
to happen eventually.
Oh, everything
Every
always
once
goes
in a while.
wrong.
Every once in a while. Broken clocks twice.
Everything that went
Right,
right for you
twice
guys, you guys went to back-to-back AFC championship
Amazing.
games.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
There was a
Maybe
ball that
time
hit
to-
off a receiver's foot.
I'll tell
and
you
just
what, if
ended
I
up
was
in
Robert
Reeves'
Saleh, the
hands.
first thing I would have done would be hire Rex to my coaching staff. Undoubtedly. Need him for the aura.
Sean Payton not hiring Rex Ryan was a mistake.
Oh.
But
His,
shout out to
his-
Vance.
yeah.
He figured it out.
Speaking of the Broncos, they are with the Patriots in win totals 5.5. One of the worst teams in the NFL. Vegas is projecting.
Yeah,
in the
I'm pretty
AFC.
comfortably going to
We
say
are going to
that.
be one of the worst teams in the league. I am anticipating it. Sean Payton is Sean Payton. Who knows? Can screw us in terms of draft picks because he's just a great
Do you
coach.
think you'll be worse or better than the Pats?
I think we'll be better.
I think so too. But I think you guys will be at 5 wins. The Pats could really win like 3 or 4 games.
There was rumor or some kind of speculation that the Broncos were going to try everything that they can to get Shador next draft, which would try and put us in position.
Dak potentially.
That has been more recent, that we're really trying to proactively get Dak. Here for that, obviously. You know me.
Good.
I'm a slut for a great quarterback. I don't care if he's used or not.
You have to pay him though.
If he's used or not.
Yeah. AKA Russell Wilson.
Used is just a crazy word.
He's old.
The only one that thought of it.
It's like
that
a
way.
used
Dak
car.
will age better than Russ, though.
Right? It's like a used car.
I agree.
Dak should be.
Used and
He should
abused.
actually be good.
Sometimes you get a used car, it's a BMW. Sometimes you get a used car, and it's a Mercedes-Benz. Sometimes you get a used car, and it's a Toyota Corolla.
Sometimes you get it used,
You know, and I love Toyota Corolla.
Used what now?
Syphilis. Shit happens. You know?
Shit happens, man.
So the Raiders are at 6.5.
Ooh.
The Chargers, Vegas thinks they'll be a 500 team, 8.5 for
They're
them.
closer to the Texans.
You know, now I think about it, you're used.
1 win
How so?
away, yes.
You think about that, man.
Hello.
Say that one more time, man.
Chargers 8.5, Raiders 6.5.
Yeah, 8.5 less. Raiders 6.5 more.
So you have no belief in the Jim Harbaugh Chargers.
First year, I don't know. Gotta wait and see where we stand right now. This is like you said. This is no prediction. Where we stand right now with their wide receiver 1 being, which shout out Palmer. However, don't know about QJ. It's a wait and see.
I would go under.
If at 5 they go and they take Joe Alt instead of Marvin Harrison, I'm doubling down.
What if they take one of those top end wide receivers?
I moved and we're over again.
I like that.
Marvin Harrison at 5 is one of the biggest licks in draft history.
I've been against a lot of what the Chargers have done this offseason, but Harbaugh's, he's a winner. I wouldn't take it right now, but yes, if they trade out of 5, they take a tackle at 5, and that's the offense they're going to be pushing out there every single week, I would take the under.
Why did Harbaugh have to go, man?
I don't know, man.
And the Chiefs are at 11.5.
Yeah, more.
12 wins
More.
for them.
That's cash.
That could be they could get like a flat 11.
Nah,
Yeah, I mean, last year, it's not like they were out there.
They had 11 wins last year.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They can get flat.
We used to 11.5, you said?
Yeah, so they would have to get 12.
Yeah, I mean, last year was a bad year in 11 wins, though. You got Rasheed now in year 2. Mike is suspended.
They're
but he'll
baiting
be
this
there.
year.
Snead is gone, right?
Snead is gone. Got Chris Jones back, though.
She may get suspended, but at the same time,
I guess I'll go over just
I don't know for how long.
the vibe.
I don't think it's going to be anything major.
yeah.
The Chiefs,
He's just
6
some dumb
years.
shit.
He did.
6 straight years winning the
fucking
AFC
lucky no
West,
one
I
got
think.
Something like
6 years.
No,
It's been a
might
long
be
time.
more than that, bro.
Might be.
Because they were winning with Alex Smith.
Might be like 8.
Yeah. There might have been a year that they didn't. I'm not sure what it was.
Bro,
Oh,
the last year was the year we won.
2017.
15.
No, 2017 Chargers. 2017 Chargers. Or it was 2017 or it was the year that Lamar Jackson faced the Chargers in the playoffs.
8th straight,
8 straight. Okay.
which is
That was 2018
year that we won.
with Lamar, I think. Or 2019. 2018.
8th straight is the year that we won.
2015.
Correct.
You sure?
Yeah, so that year the Chargers had 12 wins, the Chiefs had 12
You
wins.
sure it's not 2016?
That's what I'm saying.
You said 2015.
Well, we won in 2016. Well, February 2016.
Oh, I thought y'all won in 15 flat.
2016 is probably the best year of my life.
Yeah. Braun.
And the fucking Broncos.
I don't even remember that year.
Graduate high school.
Movie.
Uzi was great.
I got hit by a car that year.
Hey,
Hey,
Boogie.
Boogie. Fuck. We're here, man. Alum, next month.
This week in the NBA / NFL.
You
Riv.
just know how to drop a random fucking quote. What do you mean you got hit by a car then? That's it. You fucking forgot everything that happened in 2016.
I'll be honest, I didn't even hear that.
No, I got hit
Jesus
by a car that
Christ.
year. It was
Nah,
actually right
bro,
after
he dropped
the,
it. He dropped it and he just goes, I got hit by a car.
It was right after the 2016 finals. I got hit by a car.
God damn. What
Did
happened?
you throw yourself in front of that car?
Nah, I was coming down.
Sorry, that's a bad joke. I'm sorry.
You guys know the hill by my house? You know the big hill going down by Nellie K. Parker?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was coming down the hill with a bike. Had no brakes.
Yeah. Oh my god. It's like one of the steepest hills. Fucking.
Made a right, seen a car, made a quick left, car hit me,
I don't know what it is.
You're wild.
stirred the floor.
Were
my
you
whole-
okay?
Yeah, just I had like a scrape all everywhere.
You have pictures?
I don't know what it is with people that drive that ride bikes with no brakes.
Oh,
It
thanks.
makes
Especially
no
on
sense
those
to me.
hills, bro. You're bugging.
I'll
I
be
used to
honest.
have friends growing up that the hills by Hillers.
Mm-hmm.
They would ride their bike with no brakes going down.
Yeah. Like
And that's a
Standish and shit?
busy street.
That shit makes me
Yes.
nervous.
Yeah, you're on get on fucking.
Don't know why I did
All fly?
that. Yeah. That was
Yeah, there.
2016.
Yeah.
I don't know why people don't.
Glad
do
you're
that.
Hospital
alive.
for like 4 days, man.
Glad you're alive, man.
Yeah, I'm here.
How did it happen? Like, how was the impact?
Oh,
He wants details.
I went.
How many seconds were you off the ground?
No, so like, yo, bro, I kid you not.
You got airtime?
The car hit. You know how the pegs on the front. The car hit my pegs, so the bike flipped over. I went literally flying, like fucking flying, skirted on the floor.
You had a helmet on? No way.
No helmet, no shot. But you can hear the like me skirting on the floor. So I skirt. I'm just like, ah. So I turned around and I'm looking at God. I'm just laying there. I'm just like,
Is that you?
yeah. I'm just like, yo. And then like my brother and his friends were at the park, so they was like, yo, who just got hit? So they looking. And I'm just on the floor silent. I'm like, yo, I really just got hit by a car. Then they came over. My whole right arm was bleeding. Had scratches up here. It looked like my whole skin was like off.
Yeah,
it looked really bad.
I've seen somebody get hit by a car recently. I was in Bergen Line, and I was driving there, and on the side of the street, I seen somebody that he was on the floor, laying on the floor, and the bike was there, and he just got hit by the car, and I couldn't believe what somebody behind me said. Somebody was in another car that was driving. This dude was laying on the floor. He looks all messed up, clearly in pain. I think his wallet was just on the floor. And then somebody just screams out the window, hey, don't forget your wallet. Don't forget your wallet.
That's real. It's one of those things that someone could have came and caught a lick on it.
And he's just like, don't forget on the floor. It's like, don't forget your wallet. Nah,
Jesus, people have some. Nah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. No defending that either.
That's the one thing you spot. Somebody's laying on the ground. This week in the NFL, NBA, Rib, I think you have some things prepared for us.
Of course I do. First of all, shout out to Vince Carter and Chauncey Billups for making the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
Chauncey Billups especially is a guy that I really admire as a basketball player, basketball mind. The guy I grew up watching. He's one of those dudes. I definitely try to model my game after him for sure. In real life, he's just a great leader.
26, bro.
Great leader of men. Good hooper.
That's how you model your
dog defensively.
Go back into the tape, brother.
He was what?
Go back and watch the tape.
He's just a guy who he was the staple of those championship teams for Detroit, and he was the guy that was the head of the train. So shout out to him. I have a would you rather for Vince Carter though. New Jersey Nets legend. Shout out to New Jersey. Right there behind us.
Did I ever tell you guys?
Tell us.
One of the only games, I think the only Nets game I went to when they were in New Jersey in the Izod Center, he got ejected for headbutting someone.
Shit.
He has a big head.
And he fucking went in and popped
He
him.
was bald at the time too, right?
He was.
Imagine getting headbutted by somebody
He's
that's bald.
been bald, though.
I don't remember Vince Carter not being bald.
Right, he was probably bald. That's nuts. I wonder when he went bald. He UNC
He was bald
legend
in
too.
Toronto.
No, I'm talking about before that. Like, who just wakes up 18 years old? I'm gonna go bald.
I don't think you wake up and think that. I just think you wake up and it chooses you.
Yeah, I hate that for people. No, because some people choose the opposite. LeBron, Chris Paul, you see their bald spots.
It looks good on him, though.
No, but the thing is, the bald life was going to choose them. And they were
Derek
just
White.
like, no, I'm fighting this.
Would you rather Vince Carter edition? Oh, would you rather Vince Carter edition? First name up, Tracy McGrady.
I'm going T-Mac.
Tracy McGrady.
Yeah, I think peak T-Mac.
Okay, Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce.
Are we just,
Don't
is this gonna,
disrespect
Player
the
for
truth.
player.
I'm just going to be honest. This is going to be a lot of disrespect to Vince Carter, unfortunately. I just feel like that's the names you're going to give me.
I had some names, Dehls. What the fuck?
Respect the truth.
I
I said,
said-
don't. I
No,
said,
it's
that's
Paul
what I said.
Pierce.
Respect the
I'm going
truth.
with Paul
No,
Pierce.
it's Paul Pierce.
Yes. Joe Johnson. Player for player.
I'm going Vince Carter.
I would say Vince Carter.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is
Vince
where-
Carter what did in Toronto, that was special. That was special. I don't think Joe Johnson has had a moment like that.
No.
I don't think his peak is as
I'll go
good as
Vince.
Vince.
Rajon Rondo.
Player for player,
I would
I'm
probably
nuts
take
to
Vince.
say Rondo.
I would
no,
probably take
it's
Vince.
not nuts to say Rondo. I think player for player, Vince is better, but to run an offense for you
Of course.
and be the head of the snake, I think
Well,
is
Rondo's
Vince
point
Carter.
guard. Vince was
defense
never.
was
He was a good.
OD.
Yeah, he's good.
But the
rebounder,
only
too.
year that we really got to see him be the number one option, he tore his ACL with the Celtics.
That's true. That's true.
And he was having a tremendous season, too.
How many triple doubles did he have that year, too? I feel like that was a big part of the
He was
narrative,
a triple
too,
double
right?
guy before
OD.
everybody else. Ray Allen.
I'm going with
Ray
Ray
Allen.
Allen.
Ray Allen, not a question.
Ray Allen, multiple stops. You talk about the Bucks, the Sonics,
Sonics.
the Celtics. even had great moments with the Heat. He was
Great moments.
phenomenal everywhere.
Arguably
Biggest
the
moments.
moment.
LaMarcus Aldridge.
I'll go Vince.
I would go Vince too.
LaMarcus was really good, but I feel like Vince
Some interesting names.
will take it. Why Vince and LaMarcus?
Just like comparing him to Rondo and
Needed a name.
LaMarcus. Okay.
Now we're gonna get into our era a little bit.
Joel, who would you take?
I would take LaMarcus Aldridge.
Carmelo Anthony.
Mello.
Carmelo Anthony.
Easy.
was easy.
Okay. I would
Yes.
take Melo too.
It's Carmelo.
Is that easy?
Yes.
Not thinking about it.
No.
No shot in hell.
No.
No shot
Got
in
it.
hell.
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler.
It's Jimmy Butler.
You think were you sick saying that?
That wasn't even an answer.
So did you intentionally make this list and be like, I don't want Vince Carter to win any of them?
He did put Joe Johnson in here.
No.
It's probably Jimmy Butler, but I don't think it's a clearing.
I tried to find his tier of like players in his era and then like players in our era.
Interesting.
Last name up, Paul George.
Paul George.
PJ.
It's Paul
Damn,
George.
Vince Carter.
Damn, did he win any of these?
Joe
Won a
Johnson.
few.
Joe Johnson won.
And LaMarcus
I took him over
Aldridge.
at Rondo too.
I looked at Vince Carter's career, and it was hard to try to put him in that T-Mac, category, and then it was hard to keep him in like the Rondo categories, like the Joe Johnson category. He's like kind of a tweener, so it was hard to find some names for him.
From 99 to, let's say, 2007, 2008. That's really his peak.
Yes.
The thing with Vince Carter is it doesn't help him that when he went to the Nets didn't reach the same success they had before they got him. They made the finals twice without Vince. Then Vince comes. He still plays well and averages his points, but they never go back. Yeah. And they were clearly a worse team. And then after that, he just wasn't the same. He was declining as a player. His best stint is really with the Raptors.
Apparently he wasn't that hard of a worker.
That first year with the Nets.
Malachi Flynn has
28 points.
Toronto is quietly tanking.
43% from three.
I
Toronto's quietly
have this
tanking.
week in the
Nobody
NBA.
have noticed that they've lost like 14 games straight.
And you saw that RJ had missed a bunch of games and was
Played
just
the
like, you know
Lakers.
what, I'm going to play the Lakers.
He played well too.
He balled.
Yeah. I have this week in the NBA. So
you really?
I do, believe it or not, Riff. Why is that unbelievable?
Usually it's a this week in the NFL.
It's just this guy, man.
Last
It's hard
two,
to
I
believe
think.
he does his job.
Anyhow,
This guy of all people?
I know.
Respect
Last
that.
week,
Nice, Riff. Good.
Last week we did the best 3-point shooters in the NBA. This week I want to do the worst shooters in the NBA by EFG.
Okay.
You got some ugly names on this list. Let's see. This is a real ball knowledge. You
Wild
could pull
take.
some of these
Paulo
names.
Banchero.
No,
Cade Cunningham.
no.
No, this is worse, EFG.
I know. They were at the bottom of the league at one point.
Oh, actually,
Jalen Green.
with the minutes. Sorry, Jalen Green.
What is the minutes?
So I have the minutes at 1,200 minutes.
1,200.
So you're getting a lot of burn. You've played games.
Okay. Worst EFG.
Jeremy Sohan.
Yes,
Klay Thompson.
he's number 8. Clay, no.
Is Jordan Poole on here?
Jordan Poole is number 10. I'm sorry, I must have been. I was
told
looking
you.
at 1,000 minutes. I changed it
I told you he'd be up there. Jalen Green
Oh,
wasn't
you
up
said
there.
Jordan Poole already?
before the show.
Yeah, before the show. I told him Jordan Poole's up there. He was like,
Because at first I had them. He was like 13th or something, but then I upped the minutes a little bit.
So Jalen Green is not up there.
Jalen Green, no.
Okay. Played a lot of minutes. Can't.
Cam Thomas.
No.
Keldon
that was
Johnson.
No.
That was a good guess, though, Joel.
Thanks.
Mikal Bridges.
No. Oh, no.
Mikal Bridges, no.
This one's going to get us locked in our bag because I'm really trying to go of every team and think, yo, who is...
I think there's one player who's having, like, historically, he's the not historically, but this season it's 4% worse than anyone else. This is a guy that has been getting shit on for it, too.
Shit on for his efficiency. This is interesting, Dehls. You mentioned Klay Thompson already.
For sure. He's not
Correct.
up there.
He's not
unfortunately.
there.
Is Andrew Wiggins here?
No.
That's a good guess. This is going to have us locked in.
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying not to be too
Is
quiet,
Kyle
but also...
Kuzma up here?
Kyle Kuzma, no.
That was also a very good guess.
He's close, though.
What did he say? 12? How'd you know if he was close if you didn't have it in front of you?
He was like,
You make me sick.
okay, I'm bugging.
Jaren
Like,
Jackson.
He was also close, but no.
PJ Washington.
PJ Washington, no.
All right, we're going to have to lock
Do you guys want some hints?
Hell no.
No, yeah, we want some hints.
Not right now. It's close.
I've been thinking for 2 minutes.
I know it's early though. That's
too
why
early.
it
too
is
You guys
early.
have 2 names. You have 10 and you have 8.
I'm glad I got one. I'm just saying.
Okay, so let's look at
Franz.
Yes. Damn. No way. Markel.
No.
Asor Thompson,
No.
Amen Thompson,
Amon.
No.
No, he's shooting like 75%.
Scoot Henderson.
Yes.
Scoot Henderson.
There it is. Yes.
Fuck.
He
that
yes.
was
has
so
the
easy.
worst EFG
All right.
in the NBA,
Shaden Sharp.
42%. Shaden Sharp,
I
no.
don't think he
Wait, what did you
qualified.
say again? Say that for the camera.
DeAndre Ayton.
What did you say again?
No, he's going to have a high EFG.
Scoot Henderson is what, Dehls?
Worst EFG in the NBA by 4 points.
Does that make you happy?
Yeah, what the
No, I'm just
Why do you
saying.
want to repeat it?
Let's just shed some light on it. That's it. Because if this was Brandon Miller, you best believe
There's
everybody
another
was
super young
would be
player on
talking
this
about
list.
It's
it.
true.
Keontae George.
Yes, number 2.
Well done.
So 2 rookies.
God.
That's it for the rookies.
Keontae, yep.
I
Jeremy
hate that for both of them.
I do too, man.
The rest of these guys are all role players.
Okay.
Alec Burks.
No.
That's a good guess, though.
That was a good guess.
Bojan Bogdanovic.
No.
No, I don't think he'd be this.
They've
low.
been kind of bad this year.
Yeah, been shitty. But not this shitty. Top 10 in the league shitty? Dylan Brooks.
No.
No, he's
You were so sure on that.
Because he's ass.
Chris
Oh,
Dunn.
He's shooting decent
respect
from
Dylan
3,
Brooks.
so his EFG's going to be fine.
Chris Dunn.
no.
Is he efficient? I feel like I
I
don't
don't even
know
think he
if
tries
is.
to score. Great
Harrison
defender, though.
Barnes.
No.
Kevin Herter.
No.
I wouldn't go anyone on. the
Davion
team.
Mitchell.
Oh.
No.
Davion kind of has a ratchet. Sort of.
In a way.
Worst EFG. God damn.
We got 4 so far.
It's
Goddamn
a tough
Dehls.
list. I'm not going to say
I'm literally I'm excluding every single big.
There is no bigs. No.
There's no bigs.
Think of bad shooters. All of these guys basically are really bad shooters.
Cam Reddish.
No.
That was a good guess too. He probably didn't meet
I
the
don't
minutes
know if he's at the
requirement.
minutes.
Jared Vanderbilt.
No.
He didn't meet the minutes requirement either. Probably. He missed the beginning of the season and now
Yeah.
the end.
These are all non-shooters.
I shouldn't say non-shooters because these guys they're shooting the ball. They're just not shooting efficiently.
These guys get the respect as shooters?
Nah, not really.
Okay.
Is Marcus Smart eligible or no?
Nah,
Vince Williams.
nah,
Dyson Daniels up there.
no,
Xavier Tillman.
Najee Marshall.
no.
All right, need hints because I'm
Okay. Need some hints. So we have. Let me see.
One more. Cole Anthony.
No.
No, he's actually been quietly efficient.
Just I'm watching the Magic and Pelicans game.
Mm-hmm.
Pelicans game.
No, because I was thinking a lot of Magic too, but because the Magic don't have shooting.
Is there another Blazer on this list?
There is not. So there's actually 3 of these players on really good teams.
East or
One this
West.
player is on a bad team. We have a combination of both
You said 3 players on really good teams.
on strong teams. Strong teams.
Okay. All right.
I feel like one has to be from Minnesota. I think there has to be someone from Minnesota.
Is Jaden Daniels on here?
Nope.
No, it's not. Of
That would've
course
been
not.
some shit.
How about you respect him?
I wasn't trying to disrespect him.
Is somebody from the Bucks here?
No.
Okay.
Is Slow-Mo here?
Yes, Kyle Anderson is number 9.
Yes.
I knew it.
Yeah, that's a good pick. That's a good pick.
It was somebody from Timberwolves. That's a great guess.
No more from the Timberwolves.
I have one.
There's no more on the Wolves.
Josh Giddey.
No.
He's been efficient as hell in March.
Yeah, lately he might have shot up.
Recently,
Yeah, he might
yeah.
have shot up.
He's been listening to you.
That's a
Rev.
good pick. I'm not moved. He will get 20
shouldn't be.
minutes in the
We have a
playoffs.
player on here that was moved at the deadline. I don't want to give away another hint. 'Cause
Quinn
it's gonna
Grimes?
Give it away.
Gordon Hayward?
No.
I would be
Malachi
shocked.
Flynn?
No.
I said PJ Washington. You
Terry
said no.
Rozier?
No.
I would have also been shocked there too. Look at the deadline.
This is a player.
Now it got our brains churning.
This is a player that was moved at the deadline. But
Simeon Fontecchio?
no, but
Fontecchio?
isn't on the team
Fontecchio?
that traded for him now.
Thanks, that helps.
Isn't on the team that traded for him now.
Yep.
So he got traded to this team and then got traded again.
Something happened to him.
Kyle Lowry.
No.
Pat Bev?
No.
Another good one, but he kind of hits threes.
He's not on the team that traded for him. I don't even remember the deadline.
Dennis Schroeder.
No.
No, he's been efficient as hell, shooting like 42% from three
He's
as a
still on the
net.
team that traded for him.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah. This is tough.
This is tough. I like this.
Royce O'Neal?
No, he's still on the team that traded for him.
The Hornets made a trade.
No, but the Nets traded for him. But then
That was 2 years ago.
Is it Trey Mann?
No.
he got traded twice at the deadline. No, just got traded at the deadline, got cut. All right, that's the hint right there. Traded at the deadline, got cut.
Yes. I don't remember who got cut. Got bought out or cut?
That's why Kyle Lowry was
Oh, this is easy.
All right.
It's Spencer Dinwiddie.
Spencer Dinwiddie, yes.
I didn't want to say it, but I honestly forget that he's on my team sometimes.
So we have another player on here that, how should I describe him? I think he's been great as a piece off the bench. He's brought a lot of energy, but he hasn't been able to shoot the ball well.
And I already know Laker fans are going to be in the comments. Oh, Drew, you're a fake Laker fan. He's been playing well recently.
You said he was brought in at the deadline?
This player, no.
Okay.
He's on the older side. He's been a couple different stops over the last
Joe
few
Ingles?
years. No.
PJ Tucker?
No.
That brother don't even get in. Well, you said he give your hint again, Dylan.
He's a bench player. He brings really good energy. He's been on a couple different teams over the last few years. Doesn't shoot the ball well, but you get to the basket.
Good energy.
Good energy guy.
Russ,
number 6. 6 worst. So we have 3 left. 2 are on good teams.
Damn,
2 are on
Russ was up
contending
there?
teams. Yes, and 1 player who
Malachi Flynn just had 50.
is on a bad team.
It's that time of the year, fellas.
2 are on contending teams?
Well, everyone. It's okay. It's not Denver or Boston, but contending teams.
2 of the next 2.
2 of the next 3, yeah. And there's the last player is bad or on a bad team.
Look at the standings.
You two should know a pair of these players.
Is Pat Connaughton on here?
No.
Okay.
We should know a pair of these players. How should we know a pair of them?
He's the 2 that are on the contending teams.
Is he on the
Contending
Cavs? Okay.
Darius Garland,
No.
Max Strus.
No.
Karis LeVert.
Yes, Karis LeVert. 4th worst ESPN.
He said you. Now you.
Now you.
Knicks. Or son.
Josh Hart.
Yes.
Josh
Good
Hart.
shit,
I was just
Riv.
about to say that.
So we have 1 spot left.
And
the
this is the
3rd
bad
worst
team.
shooter.
He plays
He's on
48
a
minutes.
bad team. He's on the older side. He's
Bad
he's
of the
over
East or
30.
bad of the West?
Bad of the West.
Okay.
He's over 30 years old. His teammate is on this list as well. If you guys can remember all the names you said.
Over 30 years old.
He's a wizard?
He's in the
It's in the
West.
West,
He said the
West.
Oh,
West.
apologize.
Yeah. So Jeremy Sohan on the Spurs. On the Blazers, we have Scoot Henderson.
He said there was no more Blazers. Is he a Spur?
No.
He might be on the Jazz.
He's a Grizzly.
Not on the Grizzlies.
He's
You
on
said
the
it's a bad
Jazz.
team.
He's on the Jazz.
Oh, and it's not done?
Taylor Hendricks.
No, he
No,
said
he's
guard.
actually been hooping. Respect him.
He said guard.
It can't be
Old.
Sexton. Sexton has been
Can't be
good.
Sexton's been hooping.
No.
Jordan Clarkson.
Jordan Clarkson. There it is.
Damn, Clarkson old?
31.
I hate that for him.
I said 30 plus. Yeah.
Wow.
So the 10 worst shooters in the NBA, Scoot Henderson by far at 42.3%, Keontae at 46.2%, Jordan Clarkson at 47.4%, Karis LeVert at 47.5%, Josh Hart at 48.3%, Russ at 48.4%, Dinwiddie 48.5%, Shohan 48.7%, Kyle Anderson at 49%, and Jordan Poole also at 49%.
Damn. 49% EFG is tough.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
All right, see, I was going to do something different. Mine might be easier now in hindsight. But mine was going to be, can you guys name me the top 10 and most free throws attempted this season? Now, I asked that because there's a lot of conversation saying that foul baiting obviously is harming our game. But let's see if you can name all these guys.
SGA is number 1.
He's not, but he is number 2.
Dame is up here.
Luka is on this list. He is number 3. SGA is at 6'10". Doncic is at 5'81". I was surprised at SGA not being number 1. Who'd you say?
Dame.
Damian Lillard is on this list. He is number 8
Giannis.
with 465. He is number 1 by more than 150 free
That
throws.
makes sense.
Zion.
760. Number 10 at 457.
Anthony
LeBron.
Davis.
Anthony Davis is on this list at number 7. No LeBron. But Anthony Davis is here at number 7, 471.
Anthony Edwards.
He's number 9 at 461.
Tatum?
Tatum is on this list at 472. He is number 6.
Paolo Banchero.
You guys are you looking this shit up?
No,
Because y'all
I'm
are ripping it. Paulo Banchero is number 5.
Jalen Brunson?
Jalen Brunson just falls off this list at number 11.
Fox?
Fox is not on this list. I'll be honest, you're literally only missing one.
Dead air. Jimmy Butler.
No.
See, that was a fast guess.
I'm not giving any hints, but Jimmy Butler is on this. He's 13 at 413.
Trae Young.
Trae Young's not on this list. Just so you guys also know, Embiid is at 415.
Sheesh. So you guys named Jokic already?
He's not here.
Okay. No Nikola Jokic.
Nobody on Golden State.
No one on
Thunder,
Golden State.
SGA, the Clippers.
I don't think anyone's really.
Harden
I don't
ain't-
think anybody's
It would
there.
only be Harden. So if it's not Harden, is it
Hard to
Harden?
stay stoic.
Is it Kyrie Irving?
It is not.
Harden? It's not Harden, right?
It is not.
Okay, so yeah. Look at
Paul
this
George?
nigga.
It is not.
Devin Booker?
It is not.
They don't even go to the rack for real.
They don't. DeMontis Sabonis?
It is not.
Fuck.
Alperen Şengün?
It is not.
Donovan Mitchell?
It is not.
Reese?
Nope.
Victor Wembanyama?
Nope.
Maxey.
Nope.
DeMar.
Bang.
Nice.
DeMar DeRozan.
Number four.
Backed himself
Number
in the
four
face.
at
Fuck
574. So number one, by far and away, no one even close to him. Giannis Antetokounmpo at 766. Number two, SGA
running
610.
back.
Number three, Luka Doncic 581. DeMar DeRozan, surprise of this list, 574. Number four. Number five, Paolo Banchero 493. Jason Tatum 472. Number 7, Anthony Davis, 471. Number 8, Damian Lillard, 465. Number 9, Anthony Edwards, 461. And number 10, Zion Williamson, 457.
Now, before we move on, I want you guys to try and guess. Guess every single team that Vince Carter played for.
Okay.
I want you guys to go in order. So, Drew,
Yes.
I'll start with you. Name a team that he played for.
The Raptors.
The Nets.
Bang, bang. Riv, it's your turn.
The Dallas Mavericks.
Bang. Back to you, Drew.
Atlanta.
Atlanta Hawks, bang. Now it's up to Dell. So far, we have the Raptors, the Nets, the Mavericks, and the Hawks.
What?
It's your turn, Dels.
No one said the Hawks.
I said the
Oh,
Hawks.
you said the Hawks.
He said
my
the
bad,
Hawks.
my bad. I'm tripping. I was like, did I just get a
Get
free
this
one?
guy out of here, man.
What other team was he on?
There are 5 more teams he played for.
I have one for sure in my head.
Actually, 4 more teams, my bad.
I have one locked for sure.
It's a good one. I like this.
I do like it too. He's trying to
He played
respect
on the
Vince Carter
Magic?
after we just.
He did play on the Magic.
Nice. Well done.
You got it. Riv, you're up next.
Oh shit! He played on more.
Yeah, so far, Vince Carter on the Raptors, Nets, Magic, the Hawks, and the Mavericks. We're missing 3 more teams.
I feel like I have one for sure.
All are in the West.
Okay.
Okay,
Say all that.
that makes
You didn't
it
have to
so
say all
much
that.
easier.
3 all in the West. Who else do you play for?
I know one.
Oh, I think I have one.
I have one for sure.
Vince Carter.
I think I have one.
I fear you fucked me. If he says the team I have, I'm gonna be angry at you, Joel.
Time is ticking. You got 5 seconds.
Thank you.
Damn.
5.
What the hell?
Put the pressure
4.
on. Yep.
3.
I can't even think of West teams right now.
2.
He played for. Give me another 5 seconds.
No. Cut him off.
Another 5 seconds. Another 5 seconds. I can't think.
goes
I
to
just,
Drew?
I just can't think of teams right now. That's the thing.
All right, bro. I'm ready. I have my answer.
All right, we're moving on. Drew.
The Grizzlies.
Bam.
That was the only one I had.
Now, Dels is up to you
couldn't
now.
think of
2 more
teams.
teams.
Damn, that was the only. I had Memphis in my head.
There are 2 more
think.
West teams.
Yeah.
Oh, was he on that team?
Can I come back in?
Let Riv come back in.
I think I know
Was he
one.
on the Kings?
He was on the Kings.
Oh,
Okay.
shit. Okay.
Yeah, there we
All
go.
right, I think I know the last one though.
There's 1 more team. He played for them for 1 year.
I think I know the answer.
It's in the West.
Yes, we know that already.
Did we say the Spurs?
No,
No, he wasn't.
he didn't
Wait,
play
it's
for them.
Joel's turn.
Joe's a fuck up, man.
Respect him. You're the one that got it wrong.
I didn't get it wrong. I didn't say anything.
You guys skipped. Then
Which
you
is
just got it
wrong.
wrong
Then I
with the
came back.
Spurs.
If it was Family Feud and you ran out of time, they go.
Nobody was thinking of the Kings.
No.
Kings were on my mind.
I was not thinking about the Kings.
You got
Listen,
10
I got the
seconds,
Grizzlies.
Dels.
I'm just saying.
That's what I'm
ten,
saying.
Oh my god.
9,
I'm trying to think. I'm trying
8.
to
I think I
He
have
got
the
10
answer.
seconds.
7.
I got 5.
I mean,
6.
no, you had well longer than 5
5.
before that.
Racist.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Denver?
not Denver.
You're going to give him an ant too, or just same answer? I'm back?
Yes, it is back to you.
We're starting the timer in 5.
5 what?
No, you get 5 seconds from now.
15 seconds.
I'm going to say Portland.
Not Portland.
Is it the Suns?
It is the Phoenix Suns.
I'm him. I'm a Vince Carter stan.
Every team Vince Carter played for in order: the Raptors, the Nets, the Magic, the Suns, the Mavericks, the Grizzlies, the Kings, and the Atlanta Hawks.
That's dope.
I'm him.
All right, well, we might as well do Chauncey Billups, right?
We might as well.
Chauncey
That one's not
Billups.
that hard, though.
Yeah, so we might as well do Chauncey Billups. So we'll go you 3 this time. I'll name the teams.
Do I go first? Do I
Yeah,
pick
Joel,
first?
start it
You can
up.
go first.
Okay. The Celtics,
Perfect.
Detroit.
Perfect.
The Nuggets.
Perfect.
the Clippers,
Perfect.
Who we say? Sorry, run it back. Celtics, Detroit,
Clippers.
Clippers,
Denver.
Denver.
It's an obvious one here.
Joel
How many
should
teams
get,
do you play
Joel
for?
should get one.
I have that.
I know. I could have said it too. I didn't say it though.
The Knicks.
Yes.
It is the Knicks.
There's one more.
Now let's see if I'm him.
Joel, you should get this one. This is one more. It's in the West.
Is it the Clippers?
No, we said that already.
Oh, apologize. So it was he did play for the Clippers.
Yes.
All right. In the West.
This one's actually kind of tough. He's kind of ass with them.
It had to be at the end of his career.
No, it was at the beginning.
Grizzlies?
You're actually missing 2 teams. You skipped. So you had Boston. You skipped 2 spots, and then you got to Detroit.
Is it the Grizzlies?
Wrong answer.
The Mavericks.
Wrong answer.
Dehls, you're up.
Oh God.
Rockets.
Wrong answer. Relying on Dehls doesn't help.
These motherfuckers spoke on that.
Dehls.
You should know this one though. You should.
Is it the team he's coaching right now?
No.
Is that
One is in the
counts
West.
as his guess?
That was
Yeah,
my
it does.
guess.
One's in the West. One's in the East.
One is in the West. One is in the East.
So you said Boston. You've said Denver. You've said Detroit. You've said the Knicks. You've said the Clippers. You're missing 2 teams. He didn't play long for this second team.
The Hornets.
No. I'll give you one more hint. The year he played for Boston, he got traded in the same year. Well, traded or whatever, but he played with another team in that same year. And then after that, went to Denver and then played with another team after that.
To be honest, I only remember Chauncey Billups' career from Pistons, Nuggets to the Knicks.
Hate that for you. There's something. If you remember Denver,
I remember
there was
the Clippers too.
there's 2 stints in Denver.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said Memphis. Why did I think he was involved in the
You're
AI
getting close.
trade?
It's Dell's turn though. I don't think. I'm not gonna give you a time, Dell's.
Dehls, you're up.
Oh my
Oh,
God,
I'm up?
he was on the Sixers.
He was on the Sixers, wasn't
No.
Oh, I thought that's why you said you're cooking when I said AI. I was like,
No, you said
Sixers?
Memphis. I said you're cooking. It's not even your turn anymore.
It's Dell's turn.
I said
Dell
Sixers.
said so.
I said Sixers.
Okay, yeah, now it's Drew's turn.
He yelled out 6.
I just stole his blurt.
So I'm cooking with Memphis.
Memphis, yes. You're cooking with Memphis, yes.
I hate you for
100%.
this. This isn't helping me.
It should be. You want to help him?
Why is he cooking with Memphis?
Because he's just cooking with Memphis. I'm telling you that. It's in the West, and you're cooking. If you say Memphis, think of the other team. Big emphasis on Memphis. It's another team in the West. Please just think.
Minnesota.
Yes, that is the other team.
Okay.
And then there's one more team.
One more team in the East.
In the East.
Was this because they both start with like an A?
Correct. That's really all it was.
Tried to give him the best hint possible.
I'm just going to take a flyer on
That's actually the only reason I guess Minnesota.
the Miami Heat.
No.
Damn, I thought it was.
The Pacers.
No.
I thought you pulled that
It's
one.
one of Drew's teams. One of his agendas.
This year?
And pick a side history.
Toronto?
Yes. So Chauncey Billups played for Boston, Toronto, Denver, Minnesota, Detroit, went back to Denver, then went to New York, then headed to the Clippers, ended his career with Detroit.
Great call, Riff.
Toronto was 29 games.
I like that one.
29 games.
Yep. And Minnesota was 2 seasons.
It was.
Respect
Had
that.
a long, lengthy career, man. So moving on to the next topic, top 5 NBA players with the most pressure in the playoffs. The playoffs are nearing, and some guys, they got a lot of pressure to perform.
We should have a universal number 1.
In these upcoming playoffs.
Universal number 1.
We're starting at 1?
I'm just saying it's the easiest one for me.
We should collaborate on the list.
Okay.
I think number 1 is what
Easily.
you're thinking.
Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum has the most pressure, undoubtedly.
There's no close second.
Rib, do you have Tatum?
I do.
Okay.
On the list.
He's not number 1.
I have an order. But yes, Tatum will be 1.
Number 2 is
Rank
where
the
this
top
gets
5.
tricky. I don't know who'd be number 2.
Okay, I will throw a name. You let me know. Damian Lillard was who I have number 2.
I have Damian Lillard number 2.
Giannis on this list. I don't have Dame.
Giannis.
I don't think
why
there's
does he
any
have
pressure on Giannis. He won the championship.
It's similar to Jokic. Like Jokic kind of has pressure, but like there's no reason to have.
But there's no pressure on Jamal.
No.
So
I just think just because you win one NBA championship doesn't mean you just lose pressure. And especially when they go get a guy like Damian Lillard, that just automatically puts pressure on your best player. And then like we was talking about before, like people think that year was a fluke with Giannis, the year they won the championship. So there's pressure to get back. There's pressure to still maintain that championship level. But I'm not opposed to taking him off the list. I think Dame is a cool name to put up here. So.
I think Giannis has been sensational this year. I mean, he's not in MVP talks because Luka and Jokic have been that damn good this season. But beginning of the season, first few months, he was in MVP talks. The numbers are crazy. I know Giannis is going to go out there and be the best player on the court in damn near every series. That's why I have Dame second, because when he's been playing like a superstar this season, the Bucks have been damn near unstoppable. When he scores 30 or more, they're 17-2. It's the games where he's scoring 25 or less points and they're 15-14. They're a 500 team.
I'm all for putting Dame on.
So I would have Dame at 2. He hasn't been, in my opinion, the superstar they thought they were acquiring.
If I'm putting a player 3, it sucks because I feel like there are 2 teams that belong here, like the Suns and the Clippers. They both got a lot of pressure. If I were to pick from each team, Kawhi doesn't have any pressure. Paul George, I don't think he has more pressure than James Harden.
He has a ton of pressure.
I think number 3, it might be
Kevin Durant.
Devin Booker, Kevin Durant.
I put Zion on my list.
I had Kyrie at 3.
You know why I didn't put Zion on my list?
Why?
Because people don't think the Pelicans are shit.
I had Zion at 5.
But I think that's Pelicans.
He has to perform in the playoffs.
that's
He does.
Pelicans pressure.
I
I
don't
think
think-
with Zion, he has to come in and perform.
He has to play well. I don't think we're expecting him to make a WCF run, but Zion has to come out
individually
here.
him,
He has to
yeah.
be
Does
efficient. He has
Zion
to be the
have
same
more-
Zion regular season.
I don't disagree with you guys. Does he have more pressure on him than a Luka Doncic?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Because we know Luka's going to walk in and be great.
What's Luka?
I understand. I'm anticipating he's going to be great too, but there's still pressure on him to be this great player because if he's not, then the Mavericks aren't shit.
The thing is, if Luka goes out there, say they lose in 5 or 6 games, I don't think the conversation all of a sudden becomes Luka's not a good playoff performer.
Well, it'll be super narrative driven off last year they missed the playoffs, and this year they disappoint first round exit.
Question.
They're just the first,
Drew,
his first
if-
3-4
let's
years.
throw these-
Losing in 5
legendary.
would be
Let's throw these 2
terrible.
hypotheticals in the air.
I mean, Donovan's first 3 years were legendary too, and
No,
now
he was amazing. If Luka doesn't play well,
good.
in the
not saying that
Wasn't as
Luka's
good as
Donovan.
Luka.
Luka's not Donovan.
if
Their
Luka
numbers
doesn't
ain't the
play
same
well
either.
in the
They're not.
playoffs, you're just going to say he had a bad series, correct? If Zion walks in his first playoff series
fair.
and he does not play well,
That's the narrative.
noise on him is going to be
He's
nasty.
not a player performer.
Which is kind of why, now that we can come full circle here with that argument, so now I kind of have to eat what I'm saying because this is kind of my logic for that too. My number 3 was SGA.
I had SGA at 6. I didn't write off my
This
list.
is his first playoff
You can have him
series.
as top
This is
5.
him in a conversation where he's legitimately really in a strong discussion for top 5
No, he
players
has to
in the
perform.
world. He is an MVP candidate. You can't perform anything less than that in your first real playoff series as the one.
So who has more pressure, Kyrie or Zion in the playoffs, walking into the playoffs?
I think Zion has more pressure. I think SGA has more pressure than both of them.
I thought about Kyrie over Luka because Kyrie needs to play at that high level. We are all anticipating Luka will because that's all he's shown us. But again, off of the most recent Kyrie Irving playoff performances, I feel like he does have pressure on him to perform, but he already has the championship. That's kind of why I kind of left him off of this. He really doesn't have that much to prove, and I feel like he doesn't have real pressure on him.
So is SGA number 3 over Kevin Durant, Kyrie,
You know,
Zion?
just hearing you out, and again, we're adjusting lists, I would have KD and Booker over the Luka, over the Zion,
You would put Devin Booker over SGA?
I wouldn't have him over James Harden. I still think James Harden. No, I have SGA.
I think SGA is cooked. Excuse me, I think Harden's cooked.
Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't put Harden in my top.
But there's still pressure on him.
Yeah.
There's just no it's not realistic though for him to go out and
Harden's not going to give you 25 and 10.
You know,
like, he's not.
No,
Gonna do that.
I agree with that, but he still needs to be what you've seen him all season long, which is
kind of been
the
pretty
best.
bad recently.
No,
Yeah,
in
he
the month
really
of March.
struggled.
No, his shoulder's really been
His
fucked
finger
up.
too.
The month of March, he was horrible. But from October to February, he was playing some extremely efficient ball.
I think Kyrie I would have over all of these guys because when we're talking about KD, he's the number one. We know what we're expecting out of him. SJ, even though he hasn't been there yet, I think we all expect his game to translate. The Mavs have a player who's in the MVP conversation. They've been one of the hottest teams in the NBA. With what they've given you defensively, the last 23 games, they're a top 8 defense. Derek Lively, who I think is going to miss a couple weeks actually, but hopefully he's back for the playoffs. Him and Gafford at the big position. If the Mavericks don't advance to at least the second round, I feel like Kyrie's probably not playing up to his expectation because I know Luka's going to go out there and give you 35, 10, and 9 probably every single night. But I think Kyrie has to be that second player if they want to get over the top. That's why they paid him. That's why they traded for him.
I think Kyrie does have more pressure than SGA. Because I think SGA.
Oh, Lord, no.
Because I
Lord,
think
no.
Kyrie. When's the last time he had a great playoff series? You can't name it.
And
I know this is
Thunder's so
SGA's
young.
first, but
I don't think that matters right now.
I think it matters a little bit for SGA because he can play well, and the young players around him probably wouldn't rise up to the occasion.
But that's if he
I don't
plays
think
well.
that's the case. But I feel like SGA. I don't know if there's a lot of internal pressure.
I agree.
I think externally, because of the conversations fans are having about where he ranks, it's pressure. But Kyrie Irving, I think there's internal pressure for him to play well in the playoffs for the first time in God knows how long.
There was questions about who's going to pay him this offseason.
Here's the
Like,
thing.
he
Here's the
wasn't
thing.
at
Here's the
suitors.
thing with that. We can't. SGA is going to be a 2-time All-NBA first team, back-to-back years. He's already in the MVP discussion, and they're the number 1 seed. You can't do all of that in the span of 2 years. Have the number 1, number 2 seed go into the playoffs, and if you don't play well, it's just chalk it up to he's young. That pressure immediately, once you become a top 2 seed, you're an All-NBA first team player.
Happened to Giannis.
Yeah, once you do
Happened to
that, and you're
Giannis.
like, you have to come in and you have to set a statement from day one. This wasn't a fluke. I can replicate what I'm doing, because if he doesn't replicate what he's doing, now it's like, all right, well, then what are you truly as a player?
Yeah, the Michael Jordan comparisons and similar style of play and similar statistics, they quickly go back to DeMar DeRozan.
I'm cool with having SJ3 and
That's
Kyrie.
just how
It's just more
that's
pressure
just the
because
disgusting
he's also
narratives.
a number 1. There's
So
just
if-
more pressure
if
on him
SGA is
regardless.
3, then who's 4?
I would have Kyrie 4.
I'm fine with Kyrie at 4. I have James Harden on my list at 4. But your guys' logic, it's fair. But honestly, KD can be in this conversation too.
You think KD has more pressure than D Book?
I think KD has more pressure than Kyrie Irving.
I think Kevin Durant has had pressure since he left Golden State. every
Kevin
year.
Durant is really in strong contention, even for number 3, honestly.
Why does D Book have pressure?
Is Zion not in this conversation?
He should be 5.
I can hear
Zion.
it.
I
Because
would
again,
have-
the way I have SGA here, I can understand your guys' logic for Zion.
Because I feel like, KD, he's trying to prove himself, but he's a champion already. Like, I don't even
He's a
think,
locked-in Hall
So
of Famer,
Kyrie's a
like-
champion
No, Kyrie's a champion, but Kyrie hasn't had a good playoff series
since
that moment.
Okay.
KD in 2021 was
fair. That's
awesome.
fair. That's fair.
I feel like with Devin Booker, it's just this image just is in the back of my mind whenever I talk about him. Last year, they lost to the Nuggets, and
He was hurt, though.
D Book, I know they lost. I know he was hurt, but D Book didn't show up for the press conference after. He left KD out there to handle that all by himself. I thought that was a terrible look. And essentially, like, what the Suns do or do not do in the playoffs, this might be the last iteration of the Devin Booker era in Phoenix.
So do y'all want to put Kevin Durant and Devin Booker at 4-5?
There's a lot of pressure on both of them.
I'm fine with that, actually.
Well, we can put them together
I
at
feel
4.
like Booker and KD have more pressure on them than Zion.
Yeah, I think Zion could be an honorable 6.
I think James Harden still has more pressure on him than Zion.
I think we kind of don't like
it's done. Like, that's it. We don't
I
care.
think we're all at the point where like
If you're the third option, like how much pressure can I really put on you?
The Clippers are championship or bust every year.
I think
You forced your way out of Philly. You wanted to go to the Clippers. You got what you wanted. If you play like shit, what's going to be the story? We're
I'll be
really
honest,
going to
bro.
look at his
I think
career
the duo of-
completely different.
If PG and Harden play like shit, PG's gonna get more of the slack than Harden.
Who has more pressure on them?
Yeah, I think so.
The duo of PG and Harden or KD and D Book?
KD and D Book.
You think they have more pressure?
KD and D Book.
Yeah, because PG and Harden are not really the duo.
Correct.
Yeah.
But they are two of the three players that don't have a championship, though.
Yeah, but I don't think they're the
not
duo.
extended also.
Like Kawhi and PG would be the ones with the pressure. And I still think Kawhi has pressure, not top 5 pressure, but I still think he has pressure to deliver a chip to the Clippers.
Joel Embiid is exempt from this list?
I have him exempt.
If he was healthy, he'd be number 1.
Number 2.
Are there are 3 exemptions
Most
from
definitely
this
number
list?
2.
Why would he be number 2?
Because Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum has made it to a
He
final.
has a super team.
He didn't have a super team when he went to the
I'm
finals.
talking this year.
Joel Embiid has not made an ECF yet.
I understand.
The
He would be
third
number
round.
2.
Do you know what that means?
Correct.
That means he's never made it past the second round.
His team is not as good as the Celtics this year.
They would have been a 3rd seed, maybe a 2. They wouldn't
When
have
he
even
was
played
healthy,
Boston
they
until
were
the
playing
ECF.
like the
I
second best
understand
team in the
wholeheartedly.
NBA.
Nah, brother, he still would have been one.
He would, yeah. You can't
The
be the
Celtics
best
have
player in
been
the
by
world.
far and away the best team in basketball. No close second in
Drew,
the
has
Eastern
Joel
Conference.
Embiid ever had a memorable series?
No.
And he hasn't made it to the ECF.
Nope.
So what are we doing?
How many
here?
memorable games does he have?
in the
Not
playoffs?
many.
Like
He's always been hurt though.
Yet again.
I can't. Say
That's
that,
not
bro.
enough. That's
It's not. It's really.
I'm
nothing I
not
can do about
being exactly. I agree. It's not something that I'm happy to say. It's just the honest truth, though. And
I think the
Jason Tatum, his finals appearance, like you mentioned, he's gone to the finals. The big reason why people knock Jason Tatum is that finals performance.
I think the way you can argue it is
And Jason Tatum's also
Tatum,
been
the
extremely unclutched
expectations
this year.
for the two players. The expectation for Tatum is you better win the finals. The expectation for Embiid is we'd like to see you go out there and have a good playoff series. So the pressure of winning an NBA finals compared to having a good playoff series, that's where I could level with you.
Correct.
That's fair.
That is fair.
Correct. That's really what it is. Because with Jason Tatum, it's if you don't win a championship your entire season, regardless if you
Tatum's
average
season
30.
starts in the finals, legitimately. Like, nobody cares what you do. Even in the first and second round of the playoffs, I don't
That's
think
it.
people are going to care.
That's it.
ECF, they'll probably start to care, but if, like, I don't know, it's like
I feel
a
like you
5-game
can low-key
series.
say that about Embiid, though. Nobody cares what he does in the first round.
I think people do. Like you said, he
No,
doesn't have
no.
a dominant playoff series.
Yeah, but I don't think we care what he like. If he hypothetically was healthy, they were a top 3 seed. I don't think we care what he does to the Pacers or some shit or the Hawks or something. I don't think we care. I think it's about that next round when you play a Bucks or a Knicks or a Boston or whoever it was. Can you have that dominant series now and be the MVP guy in the moment where we need you to do? Not in the first round.
But still, we're still talking about second round compared to the absolute minimum for the Celtics is reach the finals.
That's a Celtics thing. I don't think that's like a
That's
like,
led by
But,
Tatum.
but he's the face of the franchise.
Yeah,
Led by
that's
Tatum.
true. That's true. That's true.
I mean, how much pressure does like Jaylen Brown and Porzingis
And then
have
on top of
realistically?
it,
Well,
there,
Jaylen Brown's got $50 million. So
With-
he has,
But still, I don't think is he top 10 on this list?
he's not. With the Celtics also,
Maybe 9 or 10.
yeah,
maybe 9 or 10.
maybe 10.
I don't know, man. I think it's pretty easy for me. Jason Tatum's one, even if Embiid was 100%.
If these players were healthy, I would have them on this list. Joel Embiid, Karl Anthony Towns, and Julius Randle.
Does Ann have pressure on him?
No.
I would have Donovan Mitchell on my
Donovan was honorable mention.
You have to play well. Simple
Yes.
as that. No
You
excuses.
need. I'll be
can
honest,
lose.
You need to get out of the first
No,
round.
you can't lose.
You
In the first
have to
round,
get
you
out of the
cannot
first
lose.
round.
If you play the Knicks round 1,
Don't
you
care.
can't lose.
I do not care.
That's
I don't care.
unreasonable.
No,
the Knicks are better than they were last
But that
year.
doesn't mean you can't beat them.
I don't think they can.
That's chalking it up to being a loser. I'm not chalking that up. If you,
There's a chance. Let
if
me
you,
not say
if you
I'm
are a
going with
prime time,
Knicks.
if you're a prime time player and you want to get paid like prime time money, and you want to put, and you have put yourself in that category of you can be an elite playoff performer, I expect you to win. I don't expect you to sit here and coddle up to, they're just a better team, we're going to lose. No, because he's played better teams before and he's beaten them. So I'm not giving him the excuse.
How
you need
often
to play
has
better.
he, though?
As a rookie, his
Against
first
OKC.
year coming in playing OKC,
Yes, but then
he
since then he
outperformed.
hasn't.
But it doesn't matter.
But
That's
he
why
did
the
it
pressure's
once.
there. That's why
You
the
do it
pressure
once.
is there.
I mean, he got to perform.
Oh, no, agreed. But that's exactly what I'm saying. He can perform, and if he falls short against a team like
What
the
if he
Knicks,
doesn't play
I
the
don't
Knicks?
think- I
What
don't
if he plays
think-
the Pacers or Heat? Because right now,
you can't
that's
lose.
most likely
to the Heat,
Pacers or
to the
Heat.
Heat, though, is understandable, even though they haven't been that good of a
I
team.
can't just give them it's
No, I'll say this.
understandable.
I think
To the Knicks, though,
the Knicks are a better team. I think they are better, but
not
if
unbeatable.
Donovan Mitchell plays up to his level, he should at least take that game to 7 or propel the Cavs.
I agree.
The Cavs are not talentless. They got
no,
talent.
for sure. I'm not saying they're not. I'm
And
not trying to
especially with
shit
our
on the
injuries.
Cavs.
The Knicks are not a juggernaut, bro.
But when healthy, I find it hard to think that the Knicks don't win that series.
If Donovan Mitchell is playing great, I find it hard to believe they can
Donovan's
go
also
7.
been banged up himself.
That's my
Mitchell
point,
needs to
though.
outplay Brunson.
Do we think that happens?
I think he has the
I would
ability
think-
to.
He has the
But
ability
You're
to do
taking
it.
Brunson going into that series. You're taking the Knicks going into that series.
Right now.
He
At the
has the
start of the
ability
season,
to.
and honestly, at January, it was honestly Donovan
Oh, yeah,
Mitchell was
when they
in
were beating the
strong
Wizards and
MVP conversations.
Donovan Mitchell was an MVP conversation all year. It's
Correct.
just the team wasn't performing.
And then also now this unfortunate injuries that's kind of
Sure, but
lingered for these
I'm
last
just
2
not
months.
going to let him. I just can't give him the lay down and just if they lose, they
And
lose.
I know this is more so a Donovan Mitchell conversation, but Darius Garland has really struggled.
He's been hurt. But I'm not. Darius Garland doesn't get the same pressure as Donovan Mitchell.
No. I'm not. I only mean that in the sense of his co-pilot, his
For
guy.
sure. His co-pilot played. He's the only one that won them a
One
game
game,
last
you're
year.
right, I agree.
So that's where the pressure comes from. His co-pilot got him the one lone win
Yep.
in the Knicks series. If Donovan Mitchell plays
And Jared
better
Allen's
than what
been
he
better
plays
this year
last
than
year,
last.
then that series goes to what 6-7. If Donovan Mitchell plays up to his
I mean, we
standards
thought the
last year.
Cavs were the favorites.
You
the
got
Cavs should
Strus
have
now.
won.
Coro- Coro's
so you
been
got
better.
a better
It's a
team.
better
now.
team.
So I don't. He doesn't
Especially
get that
if the
excuse
Knicks
from me.
if the Knicks don't have OG, if the Knicks have OG, I think
That's
that's
correct.
fair. If
That's
the
what I'm
Knicks don't have
assuming,
OG,
too.
though,
I assume
there's
both
no
teams,
reason that
if
shouldn't be a
both
6-7
teams are
series.
healthy, if this is less than
Including
a 6
Randall?
if both teams are healthy
we got
and
crazy.
this is less than a 6-game series and Donovan isn't performing, that's an embarrassment.
Agreed. If
That's
he's
an
not
embarrassment.
performing, but my whole point was, if he is
If he's performing,
performing,
they should go to 7.
If he's playing
and they
like
lose,
a superstar,
are we upset at Donovan?
No.
I think that's
Agreed.
okay.
All right, that's
Only
all right.
to
We're
the
here.
Knicks.
We're leveled.
So the only way you could lose in the first round is
But if they
to
go
the
to
Knicks,
7,
they're
like you
healthy, and
mentioned,
you go to 7,
all bets
and
are
you
off.
play well.
And if you're talking best player for best player, if Donovan is performing to where they have the game 7, that's a pick 'em at that point.
What if they play the Magic?
They should beat the Magic.
They have a strong
Tough
chance to
defense.
beat him.
I love
But
the
the
Magic,
offense for the
and
Magic
they're
is
so
really-
young.
I
They're
mean, they
such
should be
an
favored
overachievers.
against the Magic and the
and the Pacers.
Pacers.
That's not an easy one though.
And it should,
Magic.
a toss
I
up.
think it's a 6, maybe 7.
It should
game
be a
series.
toss up with the Knicks. I think that's a toss up series. I would take the Knicks in that series, but I think
I think the Knicks
if
should be minus 200 going into that series.
If the Cavaliers play up to their level and their potential, then that's a tough series. It's not going to be easy.
No. The Cavaliers are still a really good team. I just think at full strength, both of these teams, the Knicks showed, even though it was a small
The
sample
Cavs
size.
haven't been in full strength all year though.
And neither
That's the problem.
realistically, neither the Knicks.
Yeah.
Ranking the top 5 futures in the NBA. That's where we're going to finish
Is this
off
another
the
one
show
we're going to
with.
collab on?
We should.
All right.
If you guys want to start from number 1 and number
Easy.
5, it's
Number
up to you
1
guys.
is easy. Oklahoma City.
I got OKC.
Yes.
OKC's number 1. SGA, J-Dub, Chet, Kaysen, Aaron Wiggins.
And the laundry list of first round picks to like 2030.
Are we counting draft capital in the young, or are we just talking about young players?
Talking
it's
top 5 futures.
It's futures. So number 2, this is where I feel like there's only going to be maybe one other person agree with me. I have Boston.
I also have Boston.
Huh?
Why
Do
is
we have an
Boston
age
there?
capper here?
26-year-old
I feel like
Jalen
Jaylen
Brown.
Brown is kind of too old for this.
Jaylen Brown's
he not?
Supermax. Well, I think he just said top 5 futures. Here's my argument against that.
Okay.
All right, it's just a little
Jalen
weird.
Brown is
Well,
about to
he
get a
won then,
Supermax.
right?
He already has it.
They're going to struggle to maintain Derek White. They might lose Derek White.
But they're
gonna
already
retain Derek
and
White.
they already signed long-term Kristaps Porzingis.
Drew Holiday's already said that he wants to be back.
Yeah,
They'll
but
be
that-
able to
it's
get
gonna-
these guys back. You'll have
gonna be
probably
hard
a
to
second
pay.
apron. There'll be a lot of tax.
But they're already
money.
paying Kristaps and Jalen and Tatum.
Realistically, they
They're
have
not
the
paying
money.
Tatum
to,
yet.
Well, Tatum, you obviously
He'll get
know
a
he's gonna
Supermax.
come.
So wait,
Yeah.
why is Boston not one? Because of the draft capital?
I
Correct.
think, and the young pieces are super young on
Okay,
OKC.
okay.
Like these are 26, 27. Like Boston's going to be a contender for what, at least 5 seasons?
Like
I
Kaysen's
don't
a
know,
bench
man.
player, and he's one of the
Drew
most.
Holiday might retire next year. He's been creeping about that for Drew Holiday.
He said he's going to resign.
Yeah, he's been. No, I'm saying he's been creeping about that back and forth.
Yeah, but he said he's going to sign an extension.
he did.
Well, so did Kyrie Irving. He didn't.
That's a good
Okay,
point.
who do
You guys
trust,
don't have the
Kyrie
money
Irving
to
or Jordan?
sign him, Derek White,
Y'all don't got the money
and
to
then
keep everybody,
Tatum.
bro.
We have bird rights on all these players.
You
Yes,
forget
but
to
you
do
have
the second
to-
new
you have-
apron. You
yes.
can't go over the third apron or second apron. It was one of those.
Second apron, yeah, but you
You might be
probably
over
will.
that. I think you can only probably retain one of
The
them.
blessing is that they drafted both JB and Tatum. Similar how Golden State was able to finesse the contract shit.
That was before the rules came out, though.
But the rules is you
I
can't
feel
go
like
over the second
the
apron.
rules
It's just
benefit
you
drafting
would
the
have-
players,
But
though.
I think
Am I wrong?
White and Drew would put you over.
You would probably over. Yeah, I think that's the plan though. Would you rather let one of them walk and have? I mean, you sign Payne Pritchard. Hauser's on like a $3 million deal. You have Cornette and Tillman are free agents. That could be like at this point, if you have 5 and 6 guys with Pritchard being your 6, you could get a couple of vets and for
Am I
minimums.
wrong?
That's what
I
you have
thought
to do.
drafting the players gives you
have bird
more
rights. It used to.
flexibility.
Yes.
I
No,
thought it
it's the same.
still
You
does.
still have bird rights.
Well,
on
let
this
me-
play.
let me
I
ask
think
you
you do,
this.
but I don't think you can sign more players if you go over a certain
Correct.
apron.
You just minimums.
This is what I'm struggling to understand. The Celtics cannot retain everybody.
They
You
can
guys
retain
might
their starting
have
five.
some rights to them, but Jaylen Brown's about to get paid $50 million. Jason Tatum super max
Drew
is
will be
about to be
34
what?
this summer.
Yeah, he's also exactly. Drew's not going to get 30+ mil a year. I don't think.
You don't think that Drew could get $30 million on the open market?
No.
I think he'd
A
get.
year?
I think
Mike
he'd
Conley
get
got what?
Fred
think he
VanVleet
gets
got
25.
40.
15. That's different from 30.
I think Drew would get
good
like
amount better
25
than
a
Mike
year.
Conley.
Fred VanVleet's got $40 million.
He did.
How
a
old
year.
is Fred, though?
I think
30.
Drew. He could compete in
I think
Boston.
Drew can get 20 though on the open market.
I think I was going to say 25.
Yeah. All right, that's fair. Yeah, I think 20.
I
I think
apologize
I
for
think Derek
screaming
White
at
could be
30.
close to 30.
Is Derek White is going to get a bag.
Derek White's getting paid.
So y'all cannot. You're paying Tatum, Brown, and KP. How you going to keep everybody?
I mean,
He's so
it's
angry.
really if the owner's willing to pay the tax dollars
That is
for
a
it.
good
You could
point.
go over the second apron. You're just restricting yourself. But I think some players are worth going over the second apron when you have 5 legit
Derek
dudes.
White, most definitely, I'm going over the tax apron for.
I think
Is
it's going to be
Celtics on
very
your
hard.
list?
No. Celtics are not here because I feel like they're about to run into a lot of problems with managing the cap.
But
I
they
mean, I
have
think
the
the
youngest-
bench could be a little ugly, like the 7, 8, 9 guys. But still, I mean, you're gonna have the Jays.
Their
You're gonna
duo
have
is
KP.
26, 25.
They're gonna be I do not think Derek White is leaving that door. I have a hard time believing that's gonna
he
happen.
can though,
He's probably not.
but why?
We have
What if-
have the money to do it. He's going to be winning. He's been in Boston for the last 3 seasons. I mean,
He's
we have
really
a pretty
became the-
compelling case.
Listen, I'm no
what
Celtics
other
fan
what
here,
other
but he really
contender is going to
became
go out there
a
and be
dog
like,
in
all right, Derek
Boston."
White, we can give you more or just as much as Boston. No one has money unless you're a rebuilding team.
I don't even know what the market would be for Derek White. You don't think he'd be curious to test that out? He can get a bag from so many teams in the NBA.
You need cap space.
Would
to
you
sign
rather?
him, though.
Would you rather like
There will be
5?
teams with cap.
Would you rather $5 million less and no chance of competing? Or I don't know. Maybe he goes to one of the middle league
What
teams.
if the Orlando Magic offer him a bag?
Is it significantly more than what the Celtics are offering him?
It's not significant, but let's say like
Is it a $10 million, $15 million
look,
difference?
let's say the Celtics
found
offer
it.
him $30 million.
Thank you.
Derek
The
White.
second apron limits teams' abilities to sign all free agents, including their own. The first apron limits teams' ability to sign other teams' free agents, but not their own. So once you go over the second, it'll become difficult to sign even your own players. So I don't know. I don't know where you guys are at with
Signing
this
Tatum
money,
and
man.
Brown puts them over that second apron already damn near.
just them two alone? I don't know.
That's a lot of money. Tatum on the
But that's
Supermax.
also years down the line when those dollars keep going up and up.
Am I tripping or the Suns have 3 players on a Supermax?
Yes, that's why they can't get any players.
So but that's what I mean by with the Celtics. They would only have
two.
Tatum
Porzingis
and-
is making 30 a year. I think Drew's going to be around 25. Derek probably close to 30.
Derek and Porzingis make up Beal's
I mean, if you're talking, yeah. And Drew Holiday, realistically, if that's a 2-year deal, and you don't have Brown's contract
Ross
really
just
hitting
becomes
in
real
yet, and you
naked
don't have
after that.
Tatum's contract really hitting in yet, you're gonna be able to afford it. Now, if we're talking like 4 years down the line, and if you have to sign Drew to a 4-year deal or something, which I don't think it's gonna be that long, then you'll run into issues. But for the next like 3 seasons, 2-3 seasons,
it's
I think
just
it
like
should be fine.
your rotation is gonna be nasty.
Like 7, 8, 9, yeah. But realistically, we're
You can
7 deep
find
in the
those, though.
playoffs.
Possibly, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're ultimately the playoffs and the rotations, you're really running 7, 8
But
max.
what you've seen is though we've seen that role players have become far more important nowadays.
I agree.
So
I agree, but you understand what I mean. There, it's usually the 5, and then hey, we need these 2 guys that can just sub in whenever we need to. That's
Aren't the
playoff
Celtics
basketball.
already over the apron?
I just read it.
Second
I don't know
apron?
where they are.
Aren't they? They're pretty. I'm pretty sure they're over the first apron. So next year, the players they have on salary: Jaylen Brown at $49 million. Drew Holiday has a player option for $39 million. Tatum is at $34 million. KP's at $29 million. And Derek White is at $19 million and Al Horford at $9 million, but he's about to retire. In 25-26, that's when they don't even have Tatum under contract that year. Or no, they do one last year, player option. But you're paying Jaylen Brown $53 million, then Tatum $37 million, then KP $30 million. You're gonna have to choose between paying Drew Holiday and Derek White, and they're gonna be
Second
paying a
apron
lot.
is $182.5 million. That was for this year.
Okay, so 50 plus 30, that's 80. What's Tatum's?
Tatum's is $37 million.
Okay, so let's round up to 40. That's 120. Let's say they give Derek White 30. That's 150.
It's probably gonna go up.
Jaylen Brown, Tatum, and Porzingis in total is $110 million.
Okay.
That's 110 mil.
Okay, so again, I went more. I went more on mine. So we're at 110 mil. Let's give Derek White 30 million.
And that second apron's probably going to increase as years go on.
For sure.
So we're at 140 now. If we're giving Derek White 30, you want to bring back Drew Holiday for how much?
I think you get like 25.
Okay, so we're at 165. We still have 20 million to spare.
You're paying Pritchard 9 mil.
Okay.
Hauser's a free agent after next year. He probably won't be able to resign. I don't think
We're
he's
at
going to get a decent bag.
176.
Who's gonna get a decent bag?
Sam Hauser.
I really didn't include the Celtics.
Well, decent bag. I mean, he could get like 10
After we just spoke about it,
Detroit.
Yeah, no, still because
still out.
because it's gonna be hard. It is gonna be hard to
But
pay.
we just gave it to you right
The
now.
thing is,
They're gonna
if
be
you're
under
telling
it.
me I got probably, I mean, just with the Jays, you probably have 3 to 4 years of being a contender.
They're a strong carrier.
The other
in
teams
this.
below this, outside of like a couple, like I have Denver on this list. Like for the next 3 to 4 years, they're going to be championship
They'll pay
contenders.
Jamal soon too.
That's not crazy. I thought about having
so
them.
they're over the second apron. They're at 183
right
Looking
now.
at it right now. Yeah, they're at 183 million. No total cap. 187.
So the second apron's what?
182.5.
Okay.
Yeah, so you guys are over it right now. But that's what Al Horford, 10 mil, he'll probably retire. So you'll go back under. Like you mentioned, Sam Hauser's probably.
We have him for 3 mil next year, so he'll be back. But after that,
So then you know.
I just feel like there's a lot of question marks about who they're gonna retain and how they're gonna retain it.
They're definitely going to try to retain the big 5.
I was gonna, and also at the minimum, the big 3.
No, the big 3 is stay.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So like,
I mean, Porzingis is locked in for like 2-3 more
I mean, bro,
years.
even if you have those 4 players and you have to find ways to replace Drew Holiday and Al Horford, those top 4 are still going to be one of the best 4 in the East.
Yeah.
When I did my futures, I mean, I kind of did young cores. So number 2 for me, I had Memphis. I think Ja with Bane and JJJ.
I had Memphis at 4.
GG, Vince Williams.
Yes.
They're gonna get a top 10 pick in this draft.
damn, I disrespected Memphis like hell.
I'll be
You have
honest.
Memphis 2?
Yes.
Well, do you have Denver on yours?
I don't.
I have Denver on mine.
Getting GG on a rookie contract, they re-signed Vince Williams to a
Logic's
multi-year
fine.
deal,
Yeah, like
and then they're gonna probably have a top 5
I think we
pick.
all did it differently.
No,
We
but
did.
Grizzlies make a lot of sense. I would, if we're gonna collaborate on this, I'm fine with the Grizzlies being in the top 5. 2 to me might be a little high. I mean, I do look at a Houston who does have a plethora of draft picks. I don't know if I would go and put Houston at number 2. I'm just naming off other names.
Houston got a great
Houston
future.
has a bunch of draft picks. They're
Memphis
showing
just has
you
the
star
guaranteed
player.
talent. Plus, they still have. I mean, they don't have all of their picks, but they have most of their picks. You have Gigi Jackson, you have Jaren Jackson,
Vince
of course.
Williams.
Yeah,
Houston just has the Nets picks.
They do.
They have their own. I mean, if I'm Houston, I'm
They have
sitting
the coach,
pretty.
too.
They have one of the better head coaches that I would want to start my
I'll
team
sleep with
with.
Orlando though. Orlando's definitely in this
Orlando was in
conversation.
my 5.
Orlando is my honorable mention. I
The
would have
Spurs
I would
I
have
had
the
by
Spurs
default.
there.
And Spurs, I had number 3.
Yeah.
That's my list right there.
Like, my list
Memphis
was-
is a great name, though.
OKC, Memphis, the Spurs by default by having Wemby.
Agreed.
I had the Magic at 4 and the Rockets at 5.
Okay. The only difference in our list is that I think in ours too is you have the Nuggets.
I did it up to 7. All 5 of those teams were on it. I just had the
Denver and
Boston.
Wait, so you said
at 2 and 3.
name your list again?
OKC, Grizzlies, Spurs, Magic, Rockets.
Okay, so Spurs over those 2 because they don't have a job.
Magic over the Rockets too.
Yeah.
Spurs got Wemby.
Yeah,
That's what
okay,
it
okay.
is. Yeah.
So would you argue Spurs over Memphis? Because
Just for
they have
Wemby alone, yes, you can
make
argue
the
it.
argument.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The Rockets, I think they could be as high as 4 though, with Şengün,
where I
Green,
have
and Men.
them. Mm-hmm.
You know, I understand the appeal with the Magic, but right now it's 3 players that really fit. It's Paulo, Franz, and Suggs. Anthony Black, he got to work on that jump shot, but he could be here. But I would still count him in a young core. I think they just need more shooting for me to be confident in them long
And
term.
Franz, I think, needs to become a better shooter too.
He needs to. His shooting is nuts.
What was your list, Rick?
Yo,
who's
and
your
also
5?
I know that injuries have killed him. Jonathan Isaac is 26.
He should be part of that core.
He's one of the best defenders in the game.
He is part of that
Yeah.
core. That's 4.
I
agree.
only say I understand injuries have killed his career so far. When he is healthy, look, he gives me goosebumps. He's an elite defender.
No,
So
he
I
is.
would include him in that too.
What was your list, Riv?
I'm just looking at Boston's cap situation.
Got to do a deep dive on that
While,
for sure.
it was
while,
nuts.
while he pulls it up.
I have it.
Okay.
OKC, Memphis, Houston, Magic, Spurs.
Memphis 2 as well.
Yes.
I'm fine with it. I goofed. I should have had Memphis in mine too.
because my tweet.
If
I
I
had to put
didn't,
him
if
there.
I didn't have the Celtics and the Nuggets, Memphis would be
No,
2 for me.
I understand where you were going with that, and that makes sense. Like it made perfect sense. I was thinking young course. That's why I was confused at first. But when you
So
go
if we
like
had to collab, you really wouldn't have Boston here?
He did it differently.
But did you have Boston in yours?
No, I did a young course.
I really
But it's
do
at
think
futures. That's
I mean, even
When
if
I
it's
think
just
future-
talk duos, Tatum and Brown are 26 and 27.
I feel like once you hit 27, you're kind of out of the young core thing.
But this isn't young core, it's just future.
That's why I read future, read young
if we were
core.
doing futures, are Celtics in yours?
Yes.
Okay. Would the Nuggets also be in yours?
Yes.
Okay.
We are doing futures, by the way.
We are doing futures.
So we'll be next.
So wait,
I would
number
have
one, we have
Memphis
OKC.
4, and I had the Spurs 5.
OKC 3?
1. I'm over Boston.
I have OKC 1.
well, when I think about futures, I'm thinking about like the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Next 5 years, OKC, I see them up there.
Number 1.
The Magic are already top 5 seed in the East. I see them up there.
Agreed.
The Grizzlies, when they're healthy, they've been a top 3 seed in the West, and now you're adding more young talent. The Spurs have Wemby, and then the Rockets. You know, the Rockets were in the play-in hunt. That's their trajectory. Yeah, I could see the Rockets in the next 5 years being one of the best teams in the West.
That's not insane to say, especially if Jalen Green keeps this consistency.
It says I am unsure about the Celtics' ability to retain their guys. Like in the next 2 years, if you're telling me who got the best future chance to win the championship, I think the Celtics are up there for sure. But will they be able to keep their guys? How does this team look?
In the next 5 years, how long is KP signed on for? Another
4?
Is it
Another
4?
2?
2 after this, I want to say, or maybe 3. He
it's
signed.
3.
It was a 2-year, $60 million extension on top of
So
this
this year
deal.
plus
Yes,
2 more.
yes.
Okay, so you already
30 a
have.
year for KP if he's healthy is a steal.
That's a
great.
lick.
That's
a lick.
That's great.
So you're gonna have Jalen Brown signed for the 4 or 5 years. You're gonna have Jason Tatum. He's under contract for the end of this year and next year. So whenever he has his max contract, that's another 4 or 5 years already on top
That's
of
probably
that.
like $80 million a year, though.
Again, you with those 3, we're talking about the best trio in basketball.
I believe, though, when you talk about the Celtics, like if they don't win a championship this year, there's going to be a lot of chatter about if they can win one with the core.
I think you have 2 seasons. I
They're
think
still
it's
young,
this
though.
And the
it
next
is
season.
young, but if they don't win it in the next 2 seasons
Because
with this roster,
at the end of next season, then Derek White becomes a free agent. I think you have 2 realistic
Yes.
years where it doesn't get done the next 2 years. A big move is going to happen.
like in 2 years, if they don't win a championship, you don't think they explore the idea of maybe trading Jalen Brown?
It wouldn't shock me.
I mean, they were
Shock.
talking about it after this season,
That was,
after this past
I
season.
mean, they've
excuse
talked
me.
about trading Jalen Brown damn near every season. Let's be honest.
They have.
And that's ridiculous. Off one bad playoff series in his
I
career.
think wasn't it for Kevin Durant?
I mean, even when they were young, there was
Was it
questions
KD?
they could
No,
play
Scoot
together.
Henderson.
No, it was Scoot, but there was a KD. It was Derek White and Brown.
I think Kevin
for
Durant
KD.
understand.
Oh, it's
Yeah, I
KD.
understand.
It's KD. What are we doing?
They probably should have did that. I'll be honest.
Looking back, would
KD?
you trade Derek White and Jalen Brown for KD?
Yeah, it's KD.
Jalen Brown and Derek White.
yes,
I understand.
Probably would.
It's KD.
Probably in the moment, I'd probably do it.
It's KD.
Especially y'all still have Marcus Smart at that time.
KD doesn't look like he's aging.
Bro, and you know I love Jalen Brown. I respect the fuck out of Derek White. Kevin Durant and Jason Tatum. Jesus Christ.
And that'll be the go-to guy in the fourth.
You would
KD.
have loved Kevin Durant. You would have treated him like he walked on water next to
of course.
Jason Tatum.
Of course.
They wouldn't have to do too much. Just chill, coast, you know.
Yeah, that first half would be magic.
But then,
from
do we
Tatum.
make a move for Porzingis? Do we make a move for Drew Holiday?
Yeah, that's the
I
thing.
think the Drew Holiday one is still realistic.
But
need
I
that.
think we only made the Drew trade because we traded Smart.
Yes,
Yes.
correct. I think you can still make the Porzingis deal because Smart was in it, right?
Yeah, but then do we trade Smart for KP still?
I mean, KD,
'Cause now you have
Tatum, and
KD,
Porzingis.
Tatum,
That sounds really
Porzingis.
good.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, KD
nuts.
and Porzingis is nuts. Now.
Bro, if this team was Drew, Tatum, KD, and Porzingis, I think y'all would win for real.
I mean, they still.
So
could-
it's
Y'all
just
still got a
still-
huge
they could-
chance.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
could
can
still
still win.
You just don't trust that guy, huh?
one of the most clutch players in the playoffs. What are you gonna do?
And Al Horford.
Don't forget
have
Al. It's
some
a
depth.
legend.
It's
No,
time to
that
go,
team
bro.
would
You
be
guys
OD.
put a lot of mileage on his
No,
body.
Al. I need at least one more year.
Y'all have worked
Respect
him
Al. I need at least
Yo,
one more
you
year.
guys-
too much.
I need it for those Giannis and Embiid
So
series.
can we come back to a consensus on a top 5? I feel like we didn't do
Are
that.
we including the Nuggets and Celtics right now? Are we doing young cores? Because then we're just changing the
I know.
question.
If it is young cores, we are changing the question.
We can conclude the Celtics in the
All right,
Nuggets.
so
I'm with that.
Top 5 futures. Number 1, Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yes.
Yes.
Number 2,
Memphis Grizzlies. I apologize. Boston Celtics.
Wait, which one is it?
we're going Boston.
Is it Boston or is it
Yeah,
Memphis?
sure.
I would have Boston number 2. I like what Memphis is building, but
What's the- what-
Boston has
what does the
proven
table
year in
say?
and year out. Boston.
You just have Boston there.
Sure.
Okay, number 2, Boston. Number 3, Denver.
I have Denver.
All right, fine.
Are we
Championship
crazy for
contenders
having
for the next
Denver
5
over
years.
Boston?
The only reason I didn't,
Why? I'm curious.
would it shock you? Would you be appalled if Nikola Jokic in 3 years, 4 years at 30 or 31 said, you know what, I've had enough of this?
Would you be appalled if Tatum does the same fucking thing?
Walk away?
yes.
I would be shocked.
Tatum's
like
not-
done with the game?
Like
Yeah.
retire.
Brother, that's an unrealistic thing to say.
I mean, I don't know. I think it's well documented that he likes
Even if
basketball,
that
but he doesn't
happens,
love it.
in 4 or 5 years, who do you bank
I'll
on to
tell you
have
what,
more
that didn't
championship?
even enter
You
my
guys are
mind.
Denver.
I think it's
It
fair to
didn't
say
either for
Denver.
me.
All right, so then put them over.
All right, so we're gonna go 2 Denver. We're gonna go 3 Boston.
Now we're here.
4
Memphis.
Houston.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
I would have
They
Memphis
have John
at 4.
Moran.
All right, yeah, so quick. Number 4, Memphis
Now
Grizzlies.
we're cooking.
Number 5,
It's either Houston
I
or
have the
Orlando.
Spurs, Houston, Magic. Only can choose one.
The Spurs have the future best player in the world.
It's the Spurs. They have Wemby.
Respect to Şengün, respect to Paulo, respect to Jalen Green.
I love me some Jalen Green.
I understand
He ain't
San
Vic.
Antonio.
He ain't Vic.
Yeah, I understand San Antonio.
Wemby
They have
just needs to
more.
hit on their picks. I say
Yeah,
Wemby,
they
San
gotta hit, we
Antonio.
hit.
San Antonio needs to hit on their picks.
They will.
It is between San
They will what?
Antonio and
They'll
Memphis.
hit
You're praying they get Tony Parker.
No, they will.
Okay. If Rob Dillingham's going to be the next
Bro,
Tony
their
Parker.
Tony Parker is apparently it's
Shepard?
Topic.
Topic.
Topich. Thank you.
And then Manu Ginobili's who? Devin Vassell?
Yes.
Got it.
Could be better.
Say a prayer. Even though Devin Vassell, good player.
Spurs fans
Manu-
came after y'all
They shouldn't have
for
though.
proposing the LaMelo stuff. The
Not a
LaMelo
culture
and
fit.
San Antonio, not a culture fit though. I
They're
do.
right.
We didn't think of culture fit when we were talking.
Well, I said Trey Young.
We're all in for somebody. Because you were talking about shit from that draft. That dog shit of a
Talking about
draft.
Malik Monk.
You saw the.
He's averaging 21 and 7 per 36.
I don't care about per 36. I can pull up.
He's 6th man of the year.
Do you want me to pull up Jonathan Kuminga per 36?
What are the odds that
Should I
of
pull up Rui
course
Hachimura per
You know what?
36?
Malik Monk
Let's get
is
it
not
done.
We'll
Malik
get
Monk
horny.
is not going to be an All NBA All Star, of course.
No.
But
We know that.
what are the odds that
Seems rude.
he goes to a team and gets an enhanced role, similar to Jalen Brunson did when he went to the Knicks, and Malik Monk is averaging 21 and 7. He's averaging what 16 and
Is that a
and
Jalen
5?
Brunson leap? Jalen Brunson
No,
is
no.
like
I didn't say it's a
MVP
Jalen Brunson
conversation.
leap.
Oh, my
but
apologies.
if he goes to the Spurs and you're getting what Wemby's giving you plus Malik Monk averaging 21 and 7, I think that's a good starting point, and it doesn't
brother.
hinder your picks.
I think depending on landing spot. If he went to San Antonio, they don't bring in another ball dominant player. I think he could easily average that.
Malik is only 26. All I'm saying.
He feels older than that.
He does because he's been in the league since he was 19. But that's going to do it for this episode of the Pick a Side Podcast, episode 369. You guys can follow us on Twitter at Pick a Side Pod, on Instagram and TikTok at Pick a Side Podcast. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.